It was the consensus of archaeologists that megalithic architecture was beyond the capacities of hunter-gatherers and required the presence of long-term settled agricultural communities to evolve. No megalithic architecture had been found anywhere in the world that was more than 6,000 years old. In fact, that was one of the main arguments that the archaeological police used to try to dismiss John West and Robert Schoch. They said, show us another culture that's 12,000 years old anywhere in the world, and we might listen to you. But we know that there is no culture capable of creating anything like the Sphinx until 4,500 years ago. That changed completely with Göbekli Tepe, which is a deliberately buried site, deliberately buried 11,600 years ago, and thus sealed, and thus an intact archaeological scene. And the evidence from Göbekli Tepe is that this site is 11,600 years old. It dates to the end of a period called the Younger Dryas. My goodness, if you're capable of creating these 20-ton megalithic pillars and this huge site, then you're certainly capable of creating the Great Sphinx.
In 1963, a routine archaeological survey in southeastern Turkey uncovered a curious site atop a hill known as Göbekli Tepe, or Belly Hill. At first glance, the site appeared unremarkable. A scattering of broken limestone slabs lay across the hill's summit, leading researchers to believe they had stumbled upon little more than a medieval cemetery. With nothing to suggest otherwise, they simply made a note of it and moved on. However, this seemingly insignificant site would later be revealed as one of the most important archaeological discoveries of the 20th century, forever altering our understanding of early human civilization. In 1994, German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt revisited the site during his own survey of the region. Unlike those who came before him, Schmidt didn't just move on. Instead, he felt that Göbekli Tepe held a much deeper significance. His intuition proved to be right. Beneath the surface of the hill, Schmidt uncovered an ancient marvel, a series of massive megalithic structures, some reaching as high as 18 feet and weighing up to 50 tons. These stones, arranged in circular patterns, were intricately carved with depictions of humanoid figures, animals, and abstract symbols. As the excavation continued, something even more astonishing emerged. This site was ancient, far more ancient than anyone had expected. Radiocarbon dating placed its age between 9,600 and 8,200 BCE, making it over 5,000 years older than Stonehenge. Göbekli Tepe was now recognized as the oldest known megalithic site in the world. The question then arose: who could have created this monumental structure over 11,000 years ago, at a time when humanity was still presumed to be in the throes of a hunter-gatherer existence? How did they manage to move these enormous stones and carve them with such precision in an era so long before the advent of writing or advanced tools? These mysteries only deepened as further studies of Göbekli Tepe revealed evidence of a permanent settlement around the site. This new finding suggested that the builders of Göbekli Tepe were not nomadic hunter-gatherers, but rather members of an advanced civilization. A civilization older than any previously recorded. The discovery of Göbekli Tepe not only challenged traditional timelines of human development, but also raised profound questions about the purpose of the site. Why would such an immense and intricate structure be built so long ago? What drove these ancient people to invest so much effort into its construction? As archaeologists and scholars debated the answers, one theory began to gain traction. Göbekli Tepe may have been one of the world's first religious centers, perhaps even a place of worship for one of humanity's earliest organized belief systems. Schmidt himself called it the first human-built holy place, and likened it to a cathedral perched atop a hill. Others speculated that Göbekli Tepe might have served as an astronomical observatory, aligned with the stars and designed to track celestial events such as the movement of the constellation Sirius. Such a purpose would indicate that the builders possessed a deep understanding of astronomy, far earlier than previously thought. Both theories held tantalizing implications for our understanding of early human culture and spirituality. But in 2017, a new and even more significant theory emerged that promised to completely rewrite history. That year, two researchers, chemical engineers Martin Sweatman and Dimitrios Tsikritsis, turned their attention to one of Göbekli Tepe's most enigmatic features, the vulture stone. This intricately carved pillar, featuring depictions of animals and abstract figures, had long puzzled scientists. But Sweatman and Tsikritsis believed that the vulture stone held a hidden message. After close study, they concluded that the carvings were not just decorative, but rather encoded a form of information. In their view, the animals depicted on the stone represented ancient constellations, such as Scorpio, represented by a scorpion, and Libra, symbolized by a duck-like figure. At the center of the carving was a circular shape, which the researchers interpreted as the sun. According to Sweatman and Tsikritsis, the vulture stone was not merely a work of art, it was a time capsule. They believed it recorded the alignment of the constellations at a specific point in history, providing a date stamp for a significant event in human history. But what event could have been so monumental that it was memorialized on this ancient stone? The answer, according to the researchers, lay in another part of the carving. A series of square symbols at the top of the pillar, accompanied by strange descending lines. Sweatman and Tsikritsis proposed that these symbols represented fragments of a comet falling to Earth, while the headless man depicted in the bottom right corner symbolized the devastation caused by the event. In their seminal article published in Mediterranean Archaeology and Archaeometry, the researchers put forward a bold hypothesis. The vulture stone was a record of a cataclysmic event, the Younger Dryas impact. The Younger Dryas event was a period of sudden global cooling, lasting approximately from 12,900 to 11,600 years ago, during which Earth experienced dramatic shifts in climate. Geological records show that this time was marked by super tsunamis, widespread flooding, massive wildfires, and the extinction of many species. But what caused this global catastrophe had long been a matter of debate. One of the leading theories was that the Younger Dryas was triggered by a comet impact, which vaporized the ice caps covering much of North America and plunged the planet into chaos. If true, this theory would have staggering implications. It would suggest that not only did a sophisticated civilization exist more than 12,000 years ago, but that this civilization also had the capability to record astronomical events with precision. This raises a host of new questions. Who were the builders of Göbekli Tepe? How did they possess such advanced knowledge? And why have they been absent from the pages of history for so long? The possibility that Göbekli Tepe contains a record of one of the most devastating events in human prehistory opens a new chapter in our understanding of early civilization. As researchers continue to unearth the secrets of the site, it's clear that Göbekli Tepe may not have been the only place where evidence of this catastrophic event is preserved. Indeed, it seems that the builders of Göbekli Tepe were not the only ones affected by the Younger Dryas event. In the region surrounding Göbekli Tepe, another set of ancient structures provides clues to humanity's response to the disaster. Turkey is home to a network of underground cities, some of which stretch for miles beneath the Earth's surface. These vast subterranean complexes, such as those found in Cappadocia, have long been a source of wonder and mystery. Archaeologists have long speculated about the purpose of these underground cities. Were they used as shelters during invasions or natural disasters? Some believe these cities may have been built in response to the Younger Dryas event, serving as sanctuaries for those trying to escape the extreme climate conditions that ravaged the Earth during this period. Intriguingly, the ancient religion of Zoroastrianism may hold additional clues to this puzzle. Zoroastrianism, one of the world's oldest known organized religions, is thought to have originated in the region of modern-day Iran, which shares a border with Turkey. The religion's sacred texts, such as the Vendidad, contain stories that bear a striking resemblance to the events of the Younger Dryas. In the Vendidad, a man named Yima is warned of an impending catastrophe, a severe winter that will cover the earth in ice and snow. In response, Yima is instructed to build a multi-level underground city where he is to gather 2,000 human couples and every kind of animal. This city, much like Noah's Ark, is meant to preserve life through the catastrophe. When the Younger Dryas deep freeze ended, Yima's people re-emerged from their underground shelter to repopulate the earth. Could the story of Yima be a distant memory of the Younger Dryas event, passed down through oral tradition? And could the underground cities of Turkey be the real-world counterparts to the shelters described in the Vendidad? If so, then Göbekli Tepe may not only commemorate the catastrophic event itself, but also the survival of humanity through it. As we continue to investigate the mysteries of Göbekli Tepe and the underground cities of Turkey, the pieces of a much larger puzzle begin to fall into place. Together, these ancient structures point to the existence of an advanced civilization that flourished before the Younger Dryas, more than 12,000 years ago. This civilization, it seems, possessed the knowledge and skills to construct monumental buildings, track the stars, and survive cataclysmic events. Yet for reasons still unknown, this civilization vanished from history, leaving only cryptic traces behind. The implications of these findings are profound. If Göbekli Tepe is indeed a record of the Younger Dryas event, it would not only rewrite the history of human civilization, but also challenge our understanding of early humanity's capabilities. Far from being simple hunter-gatherers, the people who built Göbekli Tepe may have been part of a sophisticated culture that has been lost to time. In the coming years, as more of Göbekli Tepe is excavated and more underground cities are explored, we may finally begin to unravel the full story of this lost civilization. And in doing so, we may come to realize that human history stretches back much further than we ever imagined. The secrets of Göbekli Tepe and the mysteries of the Younger Dryas catastrophe are waiting to be uncovered, and with them, a deeper understanding of our past. If you found this video captivating, don't miss our next adventure. Egyptologists discovered a labyrinth underground ancient humans could never build. Prepare to be awestruck by an ancient labyrinth hidden beneath Egypt's sands, predating even the mighty pyramids. This discovery could rewrite history as we know it. Join us as we delve into this subterranean marvel, navigating its intricate passages and unveiling hidden chambers. Explore the secrets of its construction, decipher its purpose, and uncover its connection to the enigmatic Hawara Pyramid. Experts believe this labyrinth holds clues to ancient rituals and showcases the advanced engineering prowess of a pre-pharaonic civilization. Could this be the fabled Labyrinth of Egypt? Get ready to be amazed as we unravel this ancient enigma and its profound implications for understanding the rich tapestry of Egyptian history. Click now to embark on this extraordinary journey.
For people that haven't heard of the labyrinth, it was one of the ancient wonders of the world. Like, this was described by Herodotus and Pliny the Elder and Strabo and all these historical figures that saw it. Herodotus described it as exceeding in splendor and wonder that of the pyramids. Like, this was the labyrinth was this sort of 1,000-room structure that was supposedly just absolutely magnificent. You could have fit all of the temples of Karnak and Luxor and all of the temples of Egypt into its footprint. That was just lost to the sands of time. We've never known where it is or what it is, and it would be like a pyramid. It would rival the Great Pyramid for sure if we were to find it. But it turns out we found it.
Nobody builds something that big underground just for fun. You don't do that unless you have to.
Right.
You don't burrow like a human ant nest.
Yeah. Human beings are so weird in so many ways.
Yes.
The story of the Longyu Caves discovery begins quite unassumingly with Wu Anai, a local farmer in the small village of Xi'an in Zhejiang province, China. This region, picturesque with its lush landscapes and traditional farming, was not known for archaeological treasures.
It's really important to understand that archaeology is often driven by accidental finds.
However, the persistent issue of a village pond that wouldn't dry up, despite extensive efforts to pump it for irrigation, piqued the curiosity of Wu and his neighbors. Determined to find the reason, they funded the use of rudimentary pumps, and after 17 days and over 20,000 cubic meters of water pumped out, they uncovered what appeared to be a man-made cavern entrance, revealing the first of the Longyu Caves, later dubbed Cave 1.
Someone made it, and it involved a very large amount of organized labor. There had to be the will and the intent in order to do that.
This cave, an architectural wonder with exquisite hand-chiseled carvings, stairways and sturdy columns, was just the beginning. Word of this remarkable find spread rapidly across the region, capturing the imaginations of both the public and the academic world. The discovery was so stirring because of its unexpected nature and the sheer magnitude of the caves. Motivated by the initial find, the local community continued to fund the exploration, and by the end of 1992, 4 more caves had been identified.
There's a bunch of these things. There's a bunch of things like that. They're just like,
Each cave was unique in design and hinted at a sophisticated yet mysterious civilization that had left no other record behind. Recognizing the potential historical and cultural significance of these caves, the Chinese government quickly stepped in. They took measures to protect the site and supported further scientific studies to explore these enigmatic structures more thoroughly. This governmental intervention mirrored the actions taken after other major archaeological discoveries in China, such as the Terracotta Army, uncovered by local farmers in Shaanxi in 1974.
It's a wonderful mystery, and it deserves much further attention.
Both the Longyu Caves and the Terracotta Army were stumbled upon by locals engaged in ordinary tasks, yet these finds were anything but ordinary. The Terracotta Army, part of Emperor Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum, features thousands of life-sized statues, each detailed with unique facial expressions and attire, clearly a tribute to the emperor's military forces. In contrast, the Longyu Caves, with their vast underground spaces expertly carved from solid rock, offer no such clues about their creators or their purpose, remaining shrouded in mystery.
We are just, I think, looking at the edges of a mystery. The archaeologists involved feel the same.
These discoveries significantly shifted our understanding of their respective eras. The Terracotta Army provided a window into the military aesthetics and rituals of the Qin dynasty, while the Longyu Caves have puzzled historians due to their lack of any historical documentation. Both sites have undergone intense scholarly scrutiny and ongoing research as experts from around the world try to uncover the secrets they hold and the stories they might tell about the ancient peoples of China. These caves were cleverly concealed by the mountainous landscape and dense vegetation, which likely played a role in keeping them hidden for centuries. The region's rocky terrain further protected these man-made wonders from natural erosive forces, preserving their pristine condition through the ages. Advancements in technology have significantly aided in the exploration and mapping of these caves. Techniques such as laser scanning and ground-penetrating radar have been crucial in providing detailed information about the cave's dimensions and layout. Initially, surveys indicated that the caves covered an area of approximately 30,000 square meters, but ongoing exploration might extend this figure as more sections are discovered. The architectural consistency observed across the Longyu Caves is truly remarkable. Despite varying sizes and designs, each cave exhibits uniform craftsmanship with flat bases for pillars and symmetrical spacing of architectural elements. This uniformity suggests they were likely constructed under the centralized direction of a single authoritative entity, possibly a local ruler or a unified government during that era. The choice of siltstone for construction, a material easier to carve than granite or basalt, allowed for the creation of smooth walls and intricate carvings, showcasing an advanced understanding of material properties and structural engineering. This is evident in the high ceilings supported by massive stone pillars designed to distribute weight evenly throughout the caverns. The caves are not only a feat of engineering but also of artistry. The internal structures include complex water channels that likely serve to prevent flooding and maintain a stable internal environment, alongside ornate gutters and meticulously carved bridges that enhance both the functionality and aesthetics of these spaces. The scale of excavation involved is staggering, with an estimated 1 million cubic meters of rock removed using basic iron or bronze tools. This massive endeavor would have required thousands of laborers over several decades, if not centuries, highlighting the significant human effort and organization required. Detailed examinations of the tool marks and techniques on the cave walls offer archaeologists valuable insights into the technological capabilities of the time. Furthermore, carbon dating of some cave sections indicates their construction dates back to at least the Eastern Zhou dynasty, over 2,000 years ago. This ancient origin adds to the mystery and allure of the caves. The Long Yu caves, with their vast chambers and no historical records to explain their construction, have sparked a plethora of theories about their original purpose. One popular theory is that the caves were used as ancient storage silos. Researchers supporting this idea point to the stable temperature and humidity levels inside the caves, conditions ideal for storing perishables. The interior layout, featuring platforms and ledges, seems perfect for organizing goods, while the intricate water management systems might have been designed to control moisture levels, ensuring that stored items remained preserved. Another theory suggests that these caves served as royal tombs or burial sites for nobility. This wouldn't be out of place in ancient traditions worldwide, where elaborate resting places were often constructed for the elite. The extensive labor and detailed craftsmanship involved in creating the Long Yu caves imply they were built for significant individuals. However, the complete absence of artifacts or human remains commonly found in other tombs casts doubt on this theory. Some believe the caves had a religious or ceremonial purpose, considering how their secluded and quiet interiors would be suitable for spiritual activities. This aligns with the global historical trend of using caves for such purposes. The uniform design and orientation of the caves could suggest they were specifically planned for processions or religious ceremonies, although the lack of religious symbols or artifacts challenges this theory. A more practical perspective is that the caves were quarries. The theory posits that the caves were originally mined for stone, used in early Chinese imperial construction projects, though it doesn't account for why the stone wasn't used in any known structures nearby. Lastly, a more speculative idea is that the caves functioned as ancient astronomical observatories. Some suggest that the orientation of tunnels and openings within the caves aligns with specific celestial events, much like other historic astronomical sites.
But what's fascinating about them is this very powerful geometry and astronomy.
This would imply a sophisticated understanding of the stars by the creators of the Long Yu caves, though hard evidence for this theory is still lacking. When we compare the architectural marvels of the Long Yu caves in China with Petra in Jordan, also known as the Rose City, we dive into a fascinating study of ancient ingenuity and artistic mastery. Petra's structures are famously carved into the blush-colored sandstone cliffs, reflecting the elaborate and ornate aesthetic of the Nabateans around the 5th century BCE. Its most iconic structure, the treasury, is a perfect example of this, with a facade that is both monumental and intricately detailed, highlighting the peak of Nabatean craftsmanship. In contrast, the Long Yu caves are sculpted from siltstone, a material that presents different challenges and opportunities for the carvers. The finer grain of siltstone allowed ancient workers to achieve smooth finishes and sharp details in the cave walls and columns, offering a different kind of beauty from Petra's elaborate sandstone carvings. Unlike Petra's diverse architectural purposes, the Long Yu caves exhibit a uniform design across all the caverns, suggesting they were built with a singular purpose or design philosophy in mind. Both Petra and the Long Yu were lost to the world until their relatively recent rediscovery. Petra was brought back into the public consciousness in 1812 by Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, and since then it has reshaped much of our understanding of Middle Eastern history. Despite the grandeur and historical significance of both sites, they share a profound mystery. the absence of detailed historical records explaining their construction. While Petra does have some inscriptions and texts that offer minimal insights, the Longyou caves are surrounded by complete silence in historical records, with no writings found to date that reference their creation. This lack of documentation has left historians and archaeologists piecing together clues and forming theories that range from practical to speculative in an effort to understand these magnificent constructions.
If you have a relatively short time frame to deal with, then searching for a lost civilization becomes much more complex and much more difficult. But if you have a very long time frame to deal with, there's much more material to investigate.
Was the city of Petra always known as Petra? From the Bible, we learn that the oldest name for Petra is Seir.
Beneath the rose-red cliffs of Petra, an ancient city carved into sandstone holds mysteries that have puzzled scientists for centuries.
First organization of human beings that deserve to be called a civilization.
Recent discoveries in this lost city have surprised experts, challenging our understanding of ancient civilizations. As shadows reveal new celestial alignments on the grand facades and columns during the equinox, we are left wondering, what secrets do the stones of Petra still hold?
I don't think we're looking at coincidence here. There's too much going on. I think coincidence is a very weak explanation for what's happening.
The story of Petra, often called the Lost City, stretches back to as early as the 4th century BCE, when it was founded and rose to prominence by the 1st century BCE as the capital of the Nabatean kingdom. Nestled in the cliffs of vibrant red, white, pink and sandstone, Petra was at the heart of a bustling trade empire. Its strategic location on the spice trade routes connected it with far-flung regions from China and India to southern Arabia, and on to Egypt, Syria, Greece and Rome.
You go to Egypt and you'll find influence of the Nabateans. Everywhere we look, we find some reference at some time to the Nabateans.
The city thrived not just commercially but culturally and architecturally, demonstrating advanced techniques in water conservation. Its engineers crafted an intricate system of dams, cisterns and water channels that sustained both the city's population and its agriculture through harsh desert conditions. However, following its annexation by Rome in 106 CE, Petra began to experience a slow decline. Initially, it flourished under Roman influence, but as trade routes shifted towards the sea and devastating earthquakes struck in the 4th and 6th centuries, the city gradually lost its former glory. By the time the Islamic conquests swept through in the 7th century, Petra was reduced to a shadow of its former self, mainly inhabited by a few local Bedouin tribes who lived among the ruins and closely guarded its secrets. Throughout the Middle Ages and well into the 18th century, Petra remained enveloped in obscurity, particularly to the Western world. The Crusaders controlled the region briefly in the 12th century and even established a fortress there, but knowledge of Petra's once grandeur was limited to local tribes and a few knowledgeable Arab scholars. The renowned 14th century explorer Ibn Battuta mentioned Petra during his travels, describing it as a remote place with buildings impressively carved into rock faces. This period in Petra's history mirrors that of another ancient city, Machu Picchu in Peru, which also remained hidden from Western awareness until its rediscovery in 1911 by Hiram Bingham. Both cities were advanced in manipulating their natural environments, Petra with its sophisticated water management systems, and Machu Picchu with its terraced fields and intricate urban planning. The prolonged European ignorance of Petra lasted until the 19th century, with the region fading into the realm of myth and legend. Many in Europe were completely unaware of Petra's existence, despite ancient texts hinting at the architectural marvels that lay hidden in the Jordanian mountains. This mystery persisted until explorers reintroduced Petra to the Western world, bridging the gap between ancient lore and modern recognition. Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, born in 1784, was a Swiss traveler and scholar whose profound curiosity and academic prowess led him to significant contributions towards the Western understanding of lost or lesser-known ancient sites. Mastering multiple languages and immersing himself in various cultures, Burckhardt developed a particular fascination with Petra, an ancient city whose whereabouts had slipped from European knowledge. In preparation for his explorations within the Ottoman Empire, Burckhardt relocated to London in 1806, where he joined the African Association, an organization committed to the exploration and mapping of Africa. He further honed his expertise at Cambridge University, studying Arabic, geography, and the cultures of the Middle East. It was here that he meticulously constructed his alter ego, Sheikh Ibrahim ibn Abdallah. This identity was not just a cover to mask his European roots and exploratory motives, it was a deep dive into cultural assimilation, allowing him safer passage and a more authentic experience in predominantly Muslim territories. Burckhardt's journey to Petra began in 1812, framed as a pilgrimage to sacrifice at the tomb of the prophet Aaron on Mount Hor, which cleverly concealed his true intent to locate and document Petra. He had pieced together clues of the lost city from discussions with local traders and vague references in ancient manuscripts. His travels from Syria to the Arabian Peninsula were fraught with challenges, from regional conflicts to the unforgiving desert landscape, yet his guise as an Islamic scholar provided him crucial cover. Upon his arrival in Petra, Burckhardt was met with the breathtaking view of the Sikh, a narrow gorge stretching over a kilometer, flanked by towering walls as high as 80 meters. This passage led him to Petra's most famous and enigmatic structure, Al-Khazneh, or the Treasury. Carved directly into the blush-colored sandstone cliffs, its facade displayed an exquisite blend of Nabatean, Greek, and Roman architectural elements. Petra's entrance, known as the Sikh, is far more than just a gateway. It's an architectural wonder in its own right. This narrow gorge, carved directly from the towering sandstone cliffs, stretches for about 1.2 kilometers and varies in width from a mere 3 to 16 meters. As you walk through, the walls, which soar to heights of over 80 meters, dramatically frame your approach, guiding you towards the heart of Petra, ending at the magnificent Al-Khazneh. Along the Sikh, you'll notice a series of ancient water channels, a testament to the Nabateans' advanced hydraulic engineering skills. They devised these systems to capture and conserve the scarce desert rainwater. The strategic narrowness of the Sikh also offered a natural defense mechanism, much like the historic pass of Thermopylae in Greece, providing a fortified barrier against potential invaders. At the end of the Sikh stands Al-Khazneh, or the Treasury, which, despite its name, was likely built as a mausoleum or temple around the 1st century CE. This iconic structure is renowned for its stunning facade, decorated with a blend of Hellenistic architectural elements and native Nabatean motifs. It features a grand portico supported by 6 Corinthian columns and is adorned with intricate bas-reliefs, including depictions of Castor and Pollux, twin brothers who were revered in mythology for their role in protection and safety. The urn perched atop the facade fueled local legends, with Bedouins believing it concealed ancient treasures, hence the name the Treasury. This blend of myth and architecture draws parallels to the ornately decorated temples of the Egyptian pharaohs, which were also rich in cultural and mythological significance. Petra's architectural landscape is a rich mosaic of influences, reflecting its historical significance as a cultural and trading hub. The city's structures blend Nabatean rock-cut artistry with classical Greek, Roman, and later Byzantine styles. This fusion is visible not just on the facades but throughout the city's layout, which includes a Roman-style colonnaded street and a theatre capable of holding over 3,000 spectators. Carved directly from the rock, Petra's theatre echoes the design of ancient Greek theatres such as Epidaurus, yet it is uniquely Nabatean in its execution, showcasing their extraordinary skill in stone carving. This architectural diversity highlights the city's role as a melting pot of various civilizations throughout history, each leaving their mark on its stones and streets. Among the monumental structures in Petra, the monastery known as Ad-Dair stands out for its architectural splendor akin to that of the Treasury, yet it occupies a more secluded and solemn location. The journey to reach the monastery is an adventure in itself, involving a challenging climb of over 800 steps carved directly into the rock, which naturally limits the number of casual tourists who visit. Originally constructed as a Nabatean temple in the 3rd century BCE, the structure was later repurposed as a Christian chapel during the Byzantine period. Its facade, adorned with a massive urn and framed by towering columns, rivals the grandeur of the Parthenon in Athens. However, the isolation of the monastery adds a layer of spiritual retreat, contrasting with the civic pride of the Parthenon. Petra's allure as a mysterious and adventurous location was catapulted into popular culture by its appearance in the film Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. The movie features Petra's treasury as the fictional entrance to the final resting place of the Holy Grail, which not only captured the imaginations of viewers worldwide, but also significantly boosted tourism to the site. This depiction in the film perfectly aligned with the themes of discovery and exploration, underscoring how media can dramatically shape the perception and economic realities of archaeological sites.
The huge areas of the world that have never been looked at by archaeology at all, or if looked at by archaeology, looked at only minimally. Of course, the most important are the flooded continental shelves, and that's why Santa and I spent 7 years of our lives scuba diving all around the world.
Nestled at the westernmost edge of the Saurashtra Peninsula in what is now the state of Gujarat, India, the ancient city of Dwarka offers a narrative that is as rich in spirituality and mythology as it is in historical urban development.
The calculation is that 27 million square kilometers that was above water during the Ice Age is underwater now.
The city's strategic positioning near the confluence of the Gomati River and the Arabian Sea played a pivotal role not just in safeguarding it from potential invaders, but also in bolstering maritime trade and fostering connections with other parts of the ancient world. This geographical advantage, coupled with the city being enveloped by water on all sides, either as a peninsula or a series of islands, crafted a natural fortress that was a challenge for any adversary to overcome.
Most of human civilization has been organized around water, right? And as the water levels change, some of those ancient cities could be completely covered.
We did a lot of diving in southern India, so it was great for her to be able to talk in their own language to Tamil fishermen and Tamil divers and see if they'd seen any weird stuff underwater, which they certainly had.
Moreover, the Gomati River's proximity not only enhanced the city's scenic beauty, but also served as a crucial lifeline for its residents. Dwarka's urban landscape, as depicted in ancient texts, was nothing short of architectural grandeur. The city boasted of meticulously planned streets, a state-of-the-art drainage system, and formidable fortifications, all of which were divided into well-defined sectors for residential, commercial, and administrative purposes.
We know that it's been underwater for about 6,000 or 7,000 years, but the question is, how long before that was it made? How long did it stand there above water?
This level of urban planning and civil engineering sophistication showcases an advanced understanding of city management and infrastructure development, making Dwarka a marvel in ancient urban planning. The city's defensive structures, including a series of gates and fortifications, underscored the thoughtful defensive strategy employed in its construction. These were not merely architectural feats, but were strategically designed to regulate access and provide unwavering protection against invasions. Such architectural and strategic prowess points to a high degree of sophistication and indicates that Dwarka was a city that blended beauty with brains, making it a formidable entity in the ancient world.
You're coming across statues underwater, you're coming across columns underwater. It's just magical in diving on an underwater city.
Diving into the depths off the coast of modern-day Dwarka in Gujarat, India, archaeologists have embarked on marine explorations that have significantly advanced our understanding of the ancient city's grandeur and the sophisticated civilization that once flourished there. These underwater explorations have brought to light submerged structures, stone foundations, walls, pillars, and steps that many believe were part of the legendary Dwarka, a city of immense importance in Hindu scriptures. The discovery of such elaborate underwater architecture points towards the advanced engineering and construction techniques of the time, hinting at a society that was far ahead of its contemporaries in terms of urban planning and infrastructure development. The use of modern technology, including sonar scanning, diving explorations, and underwater photography, has been instrumental in mapping out the submerged city, providing us with a clearer picture of its complexity and the scale at which it operated. But the revelations don't stop at structures. A plethora of artifacts unearthed both from the seabed and land excavations near Dwarka tell tales of a culturally rich and economically prosperous society. The remnants of well-laid streets and an elaborate drainage system underscore a high degree of urban planning, indicative of a society that valued organization, environmental health, and the well-being of its citizens. Moreover, the variety of materials discovered suggests Dwarka was a bustling hub of trade and cultural exchange, maintaining connections with other civilizations of its time. This diversity not only showcases the city's economic vitality, but also its cultural openness and dynamism. But perhaps what's most fascinating is the chronological evidence unearthed through radiocarbon dating.
We have to accept that civilization in India is at least 5,000 years old. The largely and correctly discredited notion of an Aryan invasion of India needs to be abandoned.
Some artifacts and structural components of the submerged city have been dated back to the 2nd millennium BCE, aligning Dwarka's timeline with that of Lord Krishna, as described in traditional beliefs and ancient texts. This dating not only cements Dwarka's place as a significant cultural, religious, and economic center in the ancient world, but also bridges the gap between mythological narratives and historical reality. These archaeological findings offer a tangible framework to understand the evolution of urban settlements in ancient India, shedding light on societal structures, trade practices, and the cultural dynamics of the time. As we piece together clues from the past, Dwarka holds a special place in the tapestry of Hindu mythology and Indian ancient history, not just for its divine origins, but also for the mystery and majesty that encompass its story. At the heart of Dwarka's legend is its foundation by Lord Krishna, a pivotal figure in Hinduism revered across various traditions. The epic tales from the Mahabharata and the Bhagavata Purana tell us of Krishna's quest to protect his people from persistent threats, leading to the establishment of this city. It wasn't just a random choice. Krishna was strategic, opting for a location that offered natural defenses and prosperous living conditions for his subjects. Positioned on the western coast, Dwarka was a fortress against adversaries, thanks to its geographical advantages and access to vital sea routes that facilitated trade and communication. This city wasn't just a safe haven, it was a symbol of divine protection and ingenuity, blending spiritual significance with architectural splendor. The story of Dwarka, with its grand buildings and eventual mysterious submergence, captures the imagination, making it a subject of fascination and reverence. Dwarka, often hailed as the City of Gold in ancient scriptures, embodies not just the literal application of gold in its architecture, but also represents an era of unparalleled wealth, prosperity, and architectural ingenuity. This legendary city, with its palaces shimmering with gold and precious stones, grand public spaces, and formidable fortifications, stands as a testament to the zenith of ancient urban development and prosperity. The city's opulence wasn't confined to its material wealth. It extended to its sophisticated design and layout, which were attributed to Vishwakarma, the divine architect in Hindu mythology. Commissioned by Lord Krishna, Vishwakarma's vision for Dwarka was nothing short of architectural brilliance. The planning of Dwarka was meticulously executed, with distinct zones for residential quarters, marketplaces, temples, and public buildings. This segregation ensured that the city functioned efficiently, with each area serving its purpose without encroaching on another. The residential quarters, designed for comfort and accessibility, were likely constructed with not just security in mind, but also aesthetics, ensuring that the city's inhabitants lived in an environment that was safe, beautiful, and harmonious with nature. But perhaps the most captivating tale of Dwarka is its mysterious submergence.
The submergence of those sites is largely because of subsidence of land rather than sea level rise, because it's relatively recent.
Legend has it that following Lord Krishna's departure from this world, the city met its end, swallowed by the sea. This story isn't just a pivotal chapter in Hindu mythology, marking the end of an era and the onset of Kali Yuga. It has also piqued the interest of archaeologists and historians. Their underwater explorations near the modern city of Dwarka have unearthed submerged structures, offering a tangible link to the city's legendary past. These discoveries hint at the existence of a significant settlement that might have gradually succumbed to rising sea levels or other catastrophic events, giving some historical backbone to the mythological tales. The submergence of Dwarka is often seen through a symbolic lens, reflecting on the ephemeral nature of wealth and the inevitability of change. It reminds us that even the most splendid creations, no matter how grand or well-built, are not immune to the forces of time and nature. This story, rich with historical intrigue and mythological depth, continues to enchant and provoke thought, bridging the ancient with the present and the mythical with the real.
Indian culture is extremely, extremely ancient. We have to accept that civilization in India is at least 5,000 years old. That is one of the mistakes in looking for a quote-unquote advanced civilization in the past, is that we tend to be looking for ourselves. Whereas it's possible for a civilization to be advanced in other ways.
Could the astonishing Kailasa temple at the Ellora Caves, carved meticulously from a single massive rock, truly be the work of mere mortal hands?
There is a particular seal that has survived, and it shows a figure which is recognizable as the god Shiva.
This ancient architectural marvel, built in the 8th century under the patronage of King Krishna of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, stands as a monument not only to devotion and artistry, but also to an engineering prowess that seems almost superhuman.
I think we're confronted by an enormous mystery with megalithic sites all around the world, and we don't understand them properly.
With its elaborate carvings and grand scale, the Kailasa temple has sparked a captivating debate. Was this colossal structure really constructed using primitive tools of the age, or does it bear evidence of intervention by an advanced civilization, possibly beyond our earthly realm?
Some people think that the answer is extraterrestrial visitors. I don't think that's the answer, but who knows?
Tucked away in the basaltic hills of Maharashtra, the Ellora Caves complex is an architectural marvel of ancient India. Spanning from 600 to 1000 AD, these caves house a remarkable blend of Buddhist, Hindu, and Jain heritage. Among them, Cave 16, better known as the Kailasa Temple, stands out as the crowning glory of the site. Historically referred to as Veral, the area's location along ancient north-south trade routes undoubtedly played a critical role in its development. The Kailasa Temple, known for being the largest monolithic rock excavation in the world, showcases the advanced state of engineering and architectural skills during the 8th century. This temple was not built but rather carved top-down from a single massive rock, requiring meticulous planning and execution that speaks volumes about the capabilities of its creators.
There are unexplained issues in our past, which are presently not explained by the system that teaches us about the past.
Under the patronage of King Krishna I of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, the temple was commissioned around the mid-8th century. King Krishna I, also known as Krishna Rajanam, embarked on this ambitious project to emulate the sacred Mount Kailash, the mythological abode of Lord Shiva. The temple not only served as a place of worship, but also as a demonstration of the power and artistic aspiration of the Rashtrakutas. During a period of British colonial expansion in India, British officers often ventured on expeditions for leisure and exploration. It was during one such excursion that the lush, overgrown vegetation of the Maharashtra region, which had concealed the Ellora Caves for centuries, finally gave way to one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in India.
A lot of archaeology that gets done doesn't get done because of a targeted search.
The year was 1819, and the caves, untouched and perfectly preserved as if in a time capsule, were stumbled upon accidentally by Captain John Smith and his party. The discovery by Captain Smith wasn't merely about uncovering a lost site, it was a revelation that peeled back the layers of India's rich and ancient civilization, which had thrived long before European powers set foot in the region. As Smith entered the caves, he was confronted with the grandeur of India's past, an intact cultural heritage that spoke volumes of its historical depth and complexity. However, Captain Smith left behind more than just the memory of his discovery. In what is now viewed as an act of historical vandalism, he inscribed his name and the date on a pillar inside Cave 10. At the time, such actions were common among explorers, who often left their marks as records of their presence. This graffiti, though frowned upon today, provided a tangible record marking the European discovery of the site and has since become a point of contention in discussions about heritage preservation versus the historical markers of colonial exploration. Following this accidental discovery, there was a renewed interest in the Ellora Caves, leading to more systematic explorations and excavations. The Archaeological Survey of India, established in 1861, took on the mammoth task of excavating and preserving these ancient sites. Their efforts were crucial in maintaining the structural integrity and historical accuracy of the caves as they faced the dual pressures of time and increasing tourism. Detailed studies and documentation efforts were spearheaded by early explorers and scholars like James Burgess and later Ghulam Yazdani. Their meticulous work in cataloguing the sculptures, iconography, and architectural styles has been compiled into extensive reports and books, which remain invaluable resources for Indological studies today. This comprehensive documentation helps ensure that the Ellora caves, including the magnificent Kailasa temple, continue to be understood and appreciated not just as monuments, but as gateways to India's illustrious past. The Kailasa temple, also known as Cave 16 at the Ellora caves, truly stands as a testament to the ancient mastery of rock-cut architecture. This stunning structure isn't just a testament to grandeur, but also to a unique construction methodology that melds religious devotion with unmatched craftsmanship. Unlike traditional buildings constructed from the ground up, this temple was carved directly out of a single massive rock, a process that required not only extreme labor but also precise planning. The effort to remove approximately 200,000 tons of rock from the site underscores the monumental human endeavor that went into its creation, likely involving hundreds, if not thousands, of laborers across several generations.
Ancient cultures all around the world preserved a memory of a high civilization, of prehistory.
Symbolically, the temple mirrors Mount Kailasa, the mythical abode of Lord Shiva, suggesting that the architects intended to create a heavenly abode on earth. This ambition is evident not just in the temple's scale, but also in its elaborate multi-storied design, which features a rare vertical expansion in rock-cut architecture. Each floor is intricately adorned with carvings and statues that bring to life stories from Hindu mythology, especially those focusing on Lord Shiva, enhancing both the religious and aesthetic appeal of the temple. Comparing the Kailasa temple to the ancient city of Petra in Jordan highlights its unique features. While Petra is renowned for its impressive facades carved into rock faces, the Kailasa temple goes a step further. It is not just a facade but a complete excavation, with intricate vertical carvings that make its interiors as spectacular as its exteriors. Unlike Petra's relatively plain interiors, the Kailasa temple is elaborately detailed, with entire floors, columns and ceilings that are ornately decorated to reflect Hindu religious themes. The engineering behind the Kailasa temple also addresses some significant challenges, such as maintaining structural integrity while removing massive volumes of rock. The architects and engineers employed their deep understanding of geology and engineering to ensure the stability and durability of the remaining structures. They even incorporated an ingenious drainage system to prevent water accumulation and erosion during the region's heavy monsoon seasons. Moreover, strategic placements of openings and alignments within the temple structure allow natural light to flood its interiors, enhancing the spiritual and aesthetic experience for visitors. The layout also facilitates the circulation of air and movement of devotees, crucial during religious ceremonies. These intriguing aspects of the Kailasa temple, combined with the mysteries surrounding its construction, have fueled various theories about its origins and the techniques used in its elaborate design. From theories suggesting extraterrestrial influence to speculations about advanced ancient technologies or a network of secret chambers, the temple continues to be a subject of fascination and scholarly debate.
I think the dating of quite a number of megalithic sites needs to be reconsidered.
These discussions not only celebrate the architectural genius of the temple's creators, but also deepen our appreciation for this ancient marvel. Exploring the mysteries of the Kailasa temple at a more refined level reveals a range of fascinating theories that try to explain its incredible construction. One such theory suggests that the technology and precision required for its creation in the 8th century might hint at extraterrestrial influence or the use of advanced ancient technology that has since been lost. While this idea captivates the imagination, most scholars and archaeologists believe that the temple's construction was well within the capabilities of human ingenuity at the time, pointing to similar rock-cutting techniques used across India long before the temple was built. Another intriguing theory about the Kailasa temple involves the possibility of a network of secret tunnels and chambers beneath the complex. Local legends and some speculative reports suggest that these could have served as passages for religious ceremonies or as escape routes during invasions. However, thorough archaeological investigations have yet to confirm these claims, and the natural rocky terrain of the area makes such an extensive network rather unlikely. The alignment of the Kailasa temple with celestial bodies forms yet another theory. Some believe that the temple, like many ancient structures, was designed in alignment with certain stars or planets to harness cosmic energies during significant astronomical events such as solstices and equinoxes. While there are notable celestial alignments at other ancient sites that lend some support to this theory, concrete evidence linking the Kailasa temple's orientation with celestial events remains elusive. As these theories continue to pique curiosity and scholarly debate, the significance of preserving such a monumental site has never been clearer. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Ellora Caves, including the Kailasa Temple, are the focus of ongoing preservation efforts. These efforts are crucial in protecting the site's intricate carvings and magnificent structures from both natural elements and the impacts of modern-day tourism, ensuring that this ancient marvel can be appreciated for generations to come.
The Caucasus Mountains, a fortress of stone and ice, harboring secrets older than recorded history. Legends speak of lost civilizations and cities swallowed by the earth. In 2011, one man stumbled upon the truth behind the myths. He descended into the abyss, uncovering a mystery that would cost him his life. Nazi conspiracies, unexplained deaths, and a secret that could rewrite our understanding of the past. Kara Hora is a monument to human ingenuity and a reminder that even in the most remote places, the echoes of ancient civilizations can still be heard. And the truth remains buried in darkness.
In the remote wilderness of the North Caucasus, nestled within the Kabardino-Balkaria Republic, lies a rugged and untouched landscape. Towering mountains and vast, desolate stretches of wilderness guard the secrets of this isolated region. Few dare to venture here, but in 2011, Russian speleologist Arthur Zhemukov uncovered something that would challenge our understanding of ancient history. While exploring the peak of Kara Hora mountain, Zhemukov stumbled upon what appeared to be a simple vertical fissure in the earth. However, as he and his team descended, they realized this was no ordinary cave. The walls were lined with geometrically precise stone slabs, arranged so perfectly that it became clear this was the work of human hands. The shaft, which initially appeared natural, revealed itself to be a man-made structure. Driven by curiosity, the team continued their descent. The polished stone walls plunged 130 feet before opening into a vast underground hall, standing an imposing 36 meters high. The shaft itself extended over 350 feet, constructed from massive megalithic blocks that fit together with near-perfect precision. The blocks formed right angles, leaving minimal gaps between them. Such craftsmanship raised serious questions. Who could have built such a structure? And how did they achieve such accuracy? Within the hall, Zhemukov's team found stone blocks resembling columns, arranged with such care that the site appeared to have been constructed for a specific purpose. The polished walls bore an uncanny resemblance to the Grand Gallery of the Pyramid of Khufu in Egypt. As they explored further, the passageways narrowed, some becoming too tight for even a child to pass through. Although they could not fully explore the structure, the evidence pointed to a single conclusion. This was no natural cave. It was a man-made structure of astonishing complexity. The scale and precision of the megalithic blocks raised profound questions. Some of the stones weighed over 200 tons, yet they had been fitted together with minimal gaps, much like other ancient wonders. What kind of technology could have enabled such an ancient civilization to construct such a monumental structure? As word of the discovery spread, it attracted the attention of other researchers. Vadim Chernobrov, head of Cosmopoisk, a Russian organization studying anomalies, joined Zhemukov on further expeditions. Using precise measurements, Chernobrov mapped the explored sections and produced a 3D model comparing the shaft to a Soviet space rocket. His findings emphasized the artificial design of the structure. Despite the overwhelming evidence that the Kara Hora shaft was man-made, its purpose remained a mystery. Chernobrov speculated that it might have had a technological function, possibly serving as part of a larger machine or seismological research facility. The narrow passageways suggested the structure was not designed for habitation, but for a more obscure purpose. Other researchers put forward bolder theories, suggesting that the shaft might be part of a long-lost pyramid buried beneath the mountain. Climbers exploring the region noted that there was constant airflow within the shaft, possibly indicating it once functioned as a ventilation system for a more extensive underground complex. Regardless of differing opinions, one thing became clear. The Kara Hora shaft was not a natural formation. As Zhemukov continued his research, he began to uncover links between the Kara Hora shaft and ancient legends passed down through generations in the North Caucasus. Myths of vast underground cities, built by forgotten civilizations, seemed eerily consistent with the structure's megalithic construction and geometric precision. The evidence suggested these legends might be rooted in fact. One particularly chilling connection tied the Kara Hora shaft to World War II. During the war, Germany launched Operation Edelweiss, an attempt to seize the oil-rich Caucasus region. For some leaders, however, the region held more than just strategic value. Heinrich Himmler, head of the SS, had a deep fascination with the occult and believed the Caucasus might hold clues to the origins of the Aryan race. Himmler's organization, the Ahnenerbe, scoured the world for ancient knowledge. Their interest in the Caucasus region, known for its legends of underground cities, was no coincidence. Zhemukov's research revealed that German soldiers had come dangerously close to discovering the Kara Hora shaft during their occupation of the area. Near the entrance, they carved a swastika, a mark that suggested German researchers were on the hunt for ancient Aryan cities. Even more astonishing was the discovery of an ancient swastika near the same site, far older than when the German army first existed. Could it have been left by the civilization that built the shaft? Zhemukov believed that the Kara Hora shaft wasn't an isolated site. He speculated that it was part of a larger network of ancient structures, remnants of a forgotten civilization hidden deep within the Caucasus Mountains. However, just as he prepared to deepen his research, tragedy struck. In 2015, after making what he described as a significant new discovery, Zhemukov died in a car accident under mysterious circumstances. His sudden death shocked the research community, and some suspected it was no mere accident. Several other researchers connected to the Kara Hora shaft had also died under suspicious circumstances. Vadim Chernobrov, who had worked closely with Zhemukov on many expeditions, passed away from cancer just 2 years later. Others involved in the research also met untimely deaths, adding to the air of mystery and danger surrounding the Kara Hora shaft. In the years following these tragedies, exploration of the shaft came to a halt. For a time, it seemed as though the mysteries of the Kara Hora shaft would remain buried. However, in 2017 and 2018, a man named Alexander Sploshnov ventured into the region, capturing a series of photographs that reignited interest in the site. His photos, uploaded to social media, confirmed what Zhemukov and Chernobrov had long suspected. The Kara Hora shaft was not a natural formation. Sploshnov's images revealed massive stone blocks, cut with remarkable precision, as well as what appeared to be machine marks, hinting at advanced technology. Other photos showed stone formations buried beneath the soil, suggesting that the area had once been a major construction site. Despite these tantalizing discoveries, no new expeditions have been launched. The shadow cast by the deaths of those connected to the site combined with its remote and inhospitable location, has kept the mysteries of the Kara Hora shaft locked away. To this day, the origin and purpose of the shaft remain unsolved. Was it part of an ancient, advanced civilization, or did it serve a purpose we have yet to understand? If proven to be man-made, the Kara Hora shaft would rank among the largest and most sophisticated megalithic sites on Earth, rivaling the pyramids of Egypt. Yet for now, its secrets remain hidden, waiting for a new generation of explorers brave enough to uncover them. If you enjoyed this video, then you're going to love our next adventure, Egyptian Mystery, Hathor Temple Ancient Carvings, that archaeologists say make no sense. Journey into the heart of ancient Egypt and uncover the enigmatic Dendera light carving, a mysterious artifact that has baffled scientists for centuries. Located within the majestic Hathor Temple, this enigmatic carving depicts a radiant serpent entwined around a celestial disk. What is the true meaning of this cryptic image? And how did the ancient Egyptians create such an advanced technology? Explore the theories and speculations surrounding the Dendera light, from its potential astronomical significance to its possible connection to extraterrestrial civilizations.
When one imagines the Sahara, it's often as an endless and inhospitable expanse of shifting sands. But believe it or not, there was once a time when this very desert painted a vastly different picture. Instead of the barren dunes that stretch beyond the horizon today, thousands of years ago, this same land was verdant and full of life. Between 10,000 to 5,000 years ago, the Sahara was not a desert in the traditional sense. It was a thriving and lush region, characterized by vast grasslands, teeming with wildlife. Meandering rivers quenched the land and vast lakes shimmered under the sun, serving as focal points of life and civilization. This dramatic transformation from desert to grassland was primarily due to periodic shifts in the Earth's axis and orbit, bringing monsoon rains further north and turning arid landscapes into fertile plains. Humans, always resourceful, quickly took advantage of this bountiful environment. The land supported large communities, leading to the rise of rich cultures and the establishment of intricate trade networks. With water being the primary life source, settlements often sprang up around rivers and lakes. As these communities grew, so did their interactions with neighboring regions, leading to an exchange of goods, ideas, and innovations. But, like all good things, this green phase was transient. As millennia passed, the Earth's climatic patterns shifted once again. The once abundant rains became sporadic, and the vast bodies of water began to shrink. However, the memories of this era weren't entirely lost. They were etched in the very soil and rocks of the region, waiting to tell their tale to future generations. Delving deeper into the heart of the Green Sahara, one can uncover tales of once prosperous kingdoms and civilizations. Their existence, now buried beneath layers of sand, serves as a testament to the adaptability and ingenuity of ancient peoples. While today's Sahara might seem desolate, the remnants of these kingdoms whisper stories of a time when it was a cradle of life and culture. The Nubians, for example, were a prominent group that once thrived in the region that is now modern-day Sudan. Bordering ancient Egypt, they established a series of powerful kingdoms known for their monumental architecture and art. Far from being isolated, the Nubians had significant interactions with their northern neighbors, trading goods, sharing ideas, and sometimes even clashing in warfare. But what's particularly astonishing is how they flourished in a landscape that would eventually turn against them. Then there's the Garamantes civilization, which sprang up in what's now Libya. Instead of massive temples or pyramids, they're best known for their advanced underground irrigation system. Called the Fogaras, these networks of tunnels tapped into underground water tables, bringing life-sustaining water to the surface. Such ingenuity not only underscores their understanding of the environment, but also their determination to harness it. But perhaps one of the most enigmatic and lesser-known civilizations was the Tichit Walata complex in modern-day Mauritania. Here, settled between the 4th and 2nd millennium BC, people built thousands of stone settlements in a region that today seems completely inhospitable. The remnants of their structures, mainly circular stone walls, tell a story of organized societies with a clear understanding of urban planning. However, as the Sahara's climate began its inexorable shift back to arid conditions, these civilizations faced immense challenges. Water sources dwindled, and once fertile lands turned barren. These environmental changes, combined with external pressures and internal dynamics, led to the decline, migration, or transformation of these once great societies. Yet, they weren't completely forgotten. Centuries later, their legacy can still be traced, not just in the physical ruins they left behind, but in the shared cultural and historical tapestry of the regions they once inhabited. To truly comprehend the expanse of human history across the Sahara, one must look to the ancient canvases that dot the landscape, petroglyphs. These are not mere doodles or random etchings, but intricate works of art, revealing the soul of ancient societies and capturing snapshots of life from bygone eras. Found etched into the exposed rock faces, these artworks span vast periods, ranging from the Neolithic era to more recent times. They serve as silent testimonies to the ever-changing environment and human adaptability. The meticulous carvings depict a variety of scenes, from wildlife and hunting escapades to ritual dances and everyday communal activities. Each intricate line and curve, painstakingly carved into the rock, tells a story of a time when the Sahara wasn't a vast desert but a vibrant and lively place. Animals like giraffes, elephants, and antelopes, now only found far south of the Sahara, feature prominently in these petroglyphs. Their depictions are a stark reminder of the Green Sahara's lush past. These art pieces tell us about the biodiversity of the region, where grasslands and lakes provided habitats for an array of wildlife, and where humans, living amidst nature's bounty, revered and respected their animal counterparts. But beyond showcasing the environment, petroglyphs delve into the realm of spirituality and the metaphysical. There are symbols and patterns whose meanings have been lost to time, leaving us with puzzles waiting to be deciphered. Circles, spirals, and abstract human figures make one wonder about the spiritual beliefs, cosmological views, and mythologies that might have influenced such creations. Were they ritualistic symbols, representations of celestial events, or perhaps communal stories passed down generations? The distribution of these petroglyphs across the Sahara also suggests a connected network of cultures and communities. While some images are unique to specific regions, others exhibit similarities that hint at shared beliefs, trade routes, or intercultural exchanges. In essence, the petroglyphs of the Sahara serve as a bridge. They connect us to the ancients, enabling us to peek into their lives, aspirations, and beliefs. They remind us that beneath the Sahara's sun-baked sands lie stories of perseverance, artistry, and human endeavor, waiting to be rediscovered and appreciated anew. The allure of the lost city of Atlantis has captivated minds for centuries, an advanced civilization that seemingly vanished overnight. But did you know that the Sahara too conceals its own Atlantean secrets? Beneath the ever-shifting dunes and scorched plains, traces of once thriving settlements lay hidden. These aren't mere remnants of small tribes, but of entire civilizations that blossomed amidst the greenery before the unforgiving desert took over. One of the most enigmatic of these lost cities is the ancient city of Tamanrasset. Located in today's southern Algeria, Tamanrasset was once a bustling hub of trade, art, and academia. Imagine broad avenues lined with intricately designed buildings, public squares where scholars debated the topics of the day, and bustling bazaars displaying goods from across the ancient world. Close to Tamanrasset, archaeological excavations have uncovered remnants of sophisticated irrigation systems. These systems not only suggest a high degree of agricultural expertise, but also attest to the existence of a more hospitable climate. For these irrigation systems to function, there must have been abundant water sources, perhaps even rivers and lakes. Yet what led to the city's decline? Climate change, marked by a shift from regular rainfall to prolonged dry periods, played a major role. As water sources dwindled, sustaining large urban centers like Tamanrasset became increasingly challenging. The city's populace, facing water scarcity and declining agricultural yields, would have been compelled to migrate, seeking more fertile lands. Over time, the unforgiving sands of the Sahara reclaimed the city, obscuring it from human memory. Another hidden jewel of the Sahara is the Nabta Playa. Located in southern Egypt, this site predates the famous Stonehenge. Nabta Playa, believed to be an astronomical observatory, provides evidence that the ancients of the Sahara had a deep understanding of celestial movements. The stones are aligned with particular stellar configurations, possibly helping them mark seasonal changes, essential for nomadic communities dependent on animal husbandry. In a way, the Sahara's own Atlantean cities mirror the overarching human story, one of resilience, adaptability, and a relentless spirit. These cities, lost to the annals of time, were crafted by civilizations with dreams, aspirations, and an innate desire to understand the world around them. They are a testament to humanity's undying spirit to not just survive, but thrive, even in the most challenging of conditions. And as we unearth these lost cities, we do not just discover stone relics, but stories, cultures, and legacies that redefine our understanding of human history. Imagine a Sahara teeming with life, where large lakes dotted the landscape, providing sustenance to diverse ecosystems. A place where verdant grasslands stretched as far as the eye could see, and large herds of animals roamed freely. This might seem like a figment of fantasy, but in reality it's a blast from the past. Several millennia ago, the Sahara was not the barren desert we see today, but a thriving green expanse. This vast green Sahara was home to countless species of flora and fauna. It sustained early human civilizations, allowing them to lead settled lives centered around agriculture and fishing. Artifacts like ancient pottery shards and fishing tools found buried beneath the desert sands give credence to this era of abundance. So what transformed this lush paradise into the vast desert that stretches over 10 million square kilometers today? The answer lies in the intricate dance of the Earth's axis and its impact on global climate patterns. Our planet wobbles on its axis, a phenomenon known as axial precession. This wobbling has a cyclic pattern occurring roughly every 26,000 years. As the Earth wobbles, it influences the amount of sunlight reaching different parts of the world, significantly impacting regional climates. Around 10,000 years ago, during one such wobble, the Sahara received increased sunlight, resulting in intensified monsoon rains that turned the arid region into a verdant oasis. However, the dance continued. As the cycle of axial precession progressed, sunlight reaching the Sahara gradually reduced, the once torrential rains became infrequent, and the large lakes that had been the lifeline for so many began to dry up. The vegetation that thrived under the generous rains found it hard to survive. Grasslands receded, giving way to expanding sands. As the green faded, animals and people migrated to more hospitable regions or adapted to the emerging arid environment. The transformation from green to barren didn't happen overnight. It was a gradual process, unfolding over several millennia. As the landscape transformed, so did the civilizations that called it home. They adapted, innovated, and sometimes relocated, continually molding their lives according to the capricious whims of nature. In the end, the Sahara's story of desertification is not just a tale of climate shifts, but also a testament to nature's ever-changing canvas and humanity's age-old struggle and resilience against the relentless march of time and change. The annals of archaeology are filled with discoveries that ignite the imagination, challenge conventional wisdom, and even stir controversy. From the mysterious undeciphered Voynich manuscript to the mysterious formations of the Bosnian pyramids, the world is filled with relics and artifacts that defy easy explanation. These top 10 most controversial archaeological discoveries invite us on a thrilling journey through time, unraveling secrets, exploring ancient civilizations, and confronting puzzles that continue to baffle even the most seasoned experts. As we delve into these captivating mysteries, we may find ourselves questioning what we thought we knew about our past and pondering the uncharted territories of human history and ingenuity. Göbekli Tepe, situated in southeastern Turkey, stands as one of the most mysterious archaeological sites on the planet. Dating back to the 10th millennium BCE, it challenges the traditional view of early human civilization. The site consists of numerous massive stone pillars, some weighing up to 10 tons, arranged in a series of circular formations. These megalithic pillars are intricately carved with reliefs of various animals and abstract symbols. What's truly perplexing is the level of architectural sophistication demonstrated, including precise stone shaping and 3D reliefs. The timing of Göbekli Tepe's construction places it within the Upper Paleolithic era, a time when humans were largely considered hunter-gatherers without the means to settle down and build monumental structures. This paradox questions our understanding of human evolution and social organization. The purpose of Göbekli Tepe remains a mystery. Some researchers believe it was a religious sanctuary or ceremonial site, while others theorize it could have served astronomical functions. Its symbolic artistry hints at a complex belief system, possibly a precursor to later mythologies. Excavation at Göbekli Tepe continues to yield new information, keeping archaeologists and historians on their toes. The more we learn, the more we realize how little we know about this ancient and advanced civilization. Discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island Antikythera, this ancient device has been termed the world's first analog computer. Dating back to the 2nd century BCE, it's an artifact that highlights the astonishing technological prowess of the ancient Greeks. The Antikythera mechanism is a series of over 30 intricate bronze gears housed in a wooden frame. These gears interact with each other in a complex manner, driven by a hand-turned knob. This mechanism was used to predict astronomical positions, phases of the moon, eclipses, and even the dates of the ancient Olympic Games. Its complex gear ratios allowed for remarkable precision in tracking the movements of celestial bodies, rivaling modern-day astronomical calculations. The Antikythera mechanism has had a profound impact on our understanding of ancient technology and engineering. Its discovery prompted further research into ancient Greek science, leading to the recognition of their advanced understanding of mathematics and mechanics. Modern-day scientists have attempted to reconstruct the Antikythera mechanism, deepening our appreciation for this ancient marvel. Ongoing analysis, including X-ray studies, has unveiled hidden inscriptions and finer details, allowing researchers to continually refine their understanding of its function and complexity. The Baghdad Battery, also known as the Parthian Battery, is a set of artifacts discovered in modern-day Iraq. Thought to date back to the Parthian period, 250 BCE to 250 CE, this discovery challenges our understanding of early electrical technology. Each battery consists of a ceramic pot, a copper cylinder, and a rod of iron. When the components are assembled and an electrolytic solution is added, such as lemon juice or vinegar, the device appears to function similarly to a galvanic cell. The purpose of the Baghdad Battery remains a subject of debate. Some scholars argue that it may have been used for electroplating precious metals onto objects, while others believe it could have had a ceremonial or religious function. The idea that ancient people possessed knowledge of electricity is both fascinating and controversial. Though some experiments have replicated the batteries designed to produce a small electric current, skeptics argue that the artifacts may have had a more mundane purpose, such as storing sacred scrolls. The true nature of the Baghdad Battery continues to be a puzzle in archaeology. Located in the Nazca Desert of southern Peru, the Nazca lines are a series of enormous geoglyphs etched into the ground, comprising over 800 straight lines, 300 geometric figures, and 70 animal and plant designs. These mysterious shapes have captured the world's imagination. The lines were created by removing the reddish surface stones to reveal the lighter ground beneath. Due to the arid and stable climate of the region, the lines have remained mostly intact for centuries, with some dating back to 500 BCE. The function of the Nazca lines is still debated among researchers. Some theories suggest that they were part of an astronomical calendar or a means to communicate with deities. Others posit that they served as ritual paths or markers for water sources. The sheer scale and precision of the Nazca lines have led some to speculate about extraterrestrial involvement. This idea, though largely dismissed by mainstream archaeologists, has fueled many conspiracy theories and added to the mystique of the lines. The Shroud of Turin is one of the most famous and controversial relics in Christian history. Believed by some to be the burial cloth of Jesus Christ, this ancient linen cloth bears the faint image of a man who appears to have suffered physical trauma consistent with crucifixion. The shroud measures approximately 14.3 by 3.7 feet and displays a front and back image of a bearded man with wounds to his wrists, feet, side, and head. Many believe these wounds align with the biblical description of Jesus' crucifixion. The shroud's provenance is debated, with historical records tracing it back to the 14th century in France. Critics argue this timing is inconsistent with the shroud's supposed origin. And in 1988, radiocarbon dating placed it between 1260 and 1390 CE, fueling skepticism about its authenticity. Though the radiocarbon dating seemed to debunk the shroud's origin, subsequent research has raised questions about the sample's contamination, possibly skewing the results. The unique 3D characteristics of the image and the lack of known artistic methods to replicate it add to the mystery. The Great Sphinx of Giza is one of the world's most iconic monuments, yet it hides many secrets. One controversial theory is the Sphinx water erosion hypothesis, which argues that the monument's weathering patterns indicate a much older origin than traditionally believed. The body of the Sphinx exhibits significant erosion, especially on its western enclosure wall. This erosion appears to be caused by water, leading some researchers to propose that the Sphinx may have been exposed to heavy rainfall thousands of years ago. Mainstream Egyptology dates the Sphinx to the reign of Pharaoh Khafre, around 2500 BCE. The arid climate of the region during that period seems inconsistent with the water erosion observed. Proponents of the water erosion hypothesis, such as geologist Robert Schoch, argue that the Sphinx may date back to a much earlier period, possibly as far back as 10,000 BCE. This would align with a time when the region experienced more substantial rainfall. If the water erosion hypothesis were proven true, it would dramatically alter our understanding of ancient Egyptian civilization and its chronology. The idea that such an advanced monument could have been built thousands of years earlier challenges conventional wisdom. Many Egyptologists and geologists have criticized the water erosion hypothesis, arguing that the observed weathering could be the result of wind, salt, and other environmental factors, rather than water. The lack of corresponding evidence in other nearby monuments adds to the skepticism. The crystal skulls are a collection of human skull-shaped carvings made from clear or milky quartz crystal. They have become the subject of intrigue, skepticism, and fascination, with many attributing them to ancient Mesoamerican civilizations, while others consider them to be modern fabrications. The most famous of the crystal skulls is the Mitchell-Hedges skull, discovered in the 1920s, and characterized by a high level of detail and craftsmanship. The skulls vary in size and are often associated with mystical properties and healing powers. Some proponents claim that the crystal skulls are pre-Columbian artifacts, possibly created by the ancient Maya or Aztec civilizations. They are said to contain hidden wisdom and knowledge, and legends abound of their supernatural powers. The Dropa stones are another mysterious archaeological discovery that has stirred controversy and speculation. Allegedly found in the caves of the Bayanhar Mountains in China in 1938, these circular discs are said to contain tiny hieroglyphs and strange inscriptions. Each Dropa stone is said to measure about 12 inches in diameter, with a hole in the center. The stones are reportedly inscribed with spiraling grooves containing minute carvings, resembling a phonograph record. A sensational story accompanies the Dropa stones, linking them to the Dropa people, a supposed ancient tribe of unknown origin. Some accounts even connect the stones to extraterrestrial visitors, claiming that the inscriptions tell of a spacecraft's crash landing on Earth. Research into the authenticity and origin of the Dropa stones has been hindered by a lack of tangible evidence. Many of the initial claims regarding the stones and their discovery have been challenged, and no original stones are available for study. The Voynich manuscript is an enigmatic handwritten book, penned in an unknown script and filled with illustrations of plants, astronomical diagrams, and mysterious symbols. Named after Wilfrid Voynich, a book dealer who purchased it in 1912, its origin, authorship, and purpose remain unclear to this day. The manuscript consists of 240 pages, filled with intricate drawings and writings in an indecipherable language. The illustrations suggest that the book may be divided into sections, including herbal, astronomical, biological, cosmological, and pharmaceutical parts. Numerous cryptographers, historians, and linguists have attempted to decode the Voynich manuscript, but all efforts have been in vain. The text defies traditional analysis, and no coherent meaning has been extracted from it. Some even theorize that the text may be meaningless or a sophisticated hoax. Various theories have arisen about the manuscript, including the possibility that it's a medical alchemical text or an encoded version of a known language. Others suggest that it may be a work of art or creation of an imaginative mind. The Bosnian pyramids, located near the town of Visoko in Bosnia and Herzegovina, are a series of geological formations that have sparked controversy since their discovery in 2005. Semir Osmanagic, who first promoted the site, claims that these are the oldest man-made pyramids on Earth. The site consists of several pyramid-shaped hills, including the Pyramid of the Sun, the Pyramid of the Moon, and the Pyramid of the Dragon. Proponents argue that the hills were shaped by an ancient civilization into pyramids with evidence of tunnels, stone blocks, and terraces. Many archaeologists and geologists have criticized the claim that these are man-made structures. They argue that the hills are natural formations known as flatirons, and that the evidence presented lacks scientific rigor. Regardless of the controversy, the Bosnian pyramids have become a popular tourist attraction. Many visitors are drawn by the mystical allure of the site and the possibility of uncovering a lost civilization. The Sahara Desert, an unfathomable expanse of sand, heat, and mystery. Spanning over 9 million square kilometers, this vast desert is the largest hot desert in the world. But what is really hiding beneath its sandy surface? Let's explore the secrets and mysteries of the Sahara Desert. The Sahara Desert, now a vast, inhospitable sea of sand, was once a thriving landscape of verdant savannas and abundant water bodies. The ancient communities that inhabited these fertile regions flourished in rich cultures, establishing cities, trade routes, and centers of learning. But as climate changed and the region became arid, the green Sahara transitioned into a harsh desert, engulfing everything in its path. What might have happened to those ancient civilizations that once thrived there? The possibility of lost cities hidden beneath the Sahara's sands has fascinated archaeologists and adventurers for centuries. One notable example is the lost city of Ubar, referred to in ancient texts as the Atlantis of the Sands. Legend has it that Ubar was a thriving trading hub, rich in frankincense, but it suddenly vanished, possibly consumed by a massive sandstorm or swallowed by a sinkhole. Expeditions have been conducted to uncover Ubar, and satellite imagery has revealed some tantalizing hints, but the city remains elusive. In the northern reaches of the Sahara, the Garamantes civilization, known for its advanced underground irrigation systems known as fagaras, has left behind traces of a complex society. Excavations have unearthed impressive ruins and artifacts, suggesting that there may be more buried beneath the endless dunes. The sands of the Sahara have also concealed pre-Islamic Berber structures, like the circular stone tombs called bazinas. These architectural remnants might indicate the presence of lost cities or settlements that were part of an intricate trade network. Discovering these lost cities could rewrite our understanding of African history, revealing new insights into human civilization and cultural evolution. These buried treasures continue to lure explorers, promising a glimpse into a world that time forgot, right in the heart of one of the most mysterious and captivating places on Earth. The Sahara's secrets are still waiting to be uncovered, and the search for lost cities and ancient civilizations remains a thrilling quest, fraught with challenges and filled with potential. The Sahara Desert, the world's largest hot desert, is often perceived as a dry, lifeless wasteland. But beneath its parched surface lies a world teeming with hidden wonders. Among these are underground rivers and lakes, natural phenomena that could be key to understanding both the Sahara's past and its future. Millions of years ago, the Sahara was a far more hospitable place with lush green landscapes fed by rivers and lakes. As the climate changed, the desertification process began and water sources started to dry up. But not all was lost. Some of the water retreated underground, forming hidden aquifers and subterranean rivers. These concealed water bodies have recently gained attention due to their potential significance in scientific research, agriculture, and human habitation. One such discovery is the Nubian Sandstone Aquifer System, one of the largest known fossil water aquifers in the world. Spanning 4 countries and containing more than 150,000 cubic kilometers of water, this ancient reservoir dates back to the last wet period of the Sahara, around 5,000 to 15,000 years ago. In Libya, the Great Man-Made River project tapped into these deep aquifers to provide water to populated coastal areas. A marvel of modern engineering, the project illustrates how these underground water sources could be key to the region's future sustainability. Furthermore, the presence of these hidden rivers and lakes has given rise to unique ecosystems, harboring species that have adapted to an underground existence. Exploring these habitats can provide insights into life in extreme environments and may have implications for the search for life on other planets. These underground bodies also hold clues to the Sahara's climatic history, with sediment and mineral deposits acting as a natural record of environmental changes. Understanding these changes could contribute to broader climate studies, helping scientists predict future climatic patterns in the region and worldwide. But there are also risks. Unregulated exploitation of these resources can lead to ecological imbalances and degradation of the fragile desert ecosystem. Preserving these hidden treasures while responsibly utilizing them presents a complex challenge. Intriguingly, some have even speculated about the existence of mythical underground oases and hidden civilizations thriving beneath the desert surface, though these remain the stuff of legend. The Eye of the Sahara, or the Richat structure, is a geological marvel that captures the imagination and intrigue of scientists, historians, and conspiracy theorists alike. Located in Mauritania, this enormous circular feature stretches 40 kilometers in diameter, making it easily visible from space. Originally, scientists thought that the Eye of the Sahara was the result of a meteor impact, but further study revealed that it was actually a deeply eroded geologic dome. This complex structure consists of concentric rings of rocks, some of which are more than 600 million years old. These rings are made of varying types of rock, including quartzite, limestone, and shale, which erode at different rates, giving the formation its striking appearance. The genesis of the Richat structure is still not entirely clear, with theories ranging from volcanic activity to multiple stages of erosion. What is known is that it provides a unique window into the Earth's geologic history. The exposed layers offer insights into the processes that shaped the region, from ancient marine environments to tectonic forces. Geologists view it as a natural laboratory, allowing them to study various rock types and geologic features in one concentrated area. But the Eye of the Sahara's intrigue extends beyond geology. Some have proposed that it bears a striking resemblance to the description of the lost city of Atlantis. As described by the ancient philosopher Plato, this theory has fueled speculation and even some expeditions to explore the site further, searching for hidden clues to one of history's most enduring mysteries. The Richat structure's unique appearance has also attracted attention from space agencies, such as NASA. The mineral compositions and geology are considered analogous to certain areas on Mars. Scientists study the Eye to better understand similar structures on the Red Planet, enhancing our knowledge of interplanetary geology. The local population has its own stories and legends about the formation, adding a rich cultural dimension to its scientific fascination. Tourism has also started to blossom in the area, attracting those curious to see this spectacular natural wonder up close. The vast, unforgiving expanse of the Sahara Desert has long been a place of mystery and isolation, making it an ideal location for secret military bases. Governments and various military organizations have been rumored to utilize the remote, inhospitable terrain for hidden installations, research facilities, and testing grounds. During the Cold War, both superpowers were allegedly engaged in establishing covert bases in the Sahara, capitalizing on the region's strategic location and natural concealment. The secrecy surrounding these sites has fueled countless conspiracy theories and speculations about what truly transpires within their guarded perimeters. In some cases, declassified documents have revealed the existence of secret bases used for nuclear testing. The French government, for example, conducted a series of nuclear tests in the Algerian Sahara during the 1960s. These tests were highly controversial and shrouded in secrecy, with their consequences still being felt by local populations today. Some believe that the Sahara's remote areas are also utilized for testing advanced aircraft, weapons, and even experimental technologies. Satellite imagery and eyewitness accounts have occasionally pointed to unusual activities in the desert, further adding to the enigma. The lack of access to many of these areas, coupled with strict governmental controls, means that substantiating these claims remains a formidable challenge. Another dimension to the story of secret bases in the Sahara is the potential collaboration between governments and private military companies. The region's ongoing political instability and strategic importance have led to the proliferation of private military contractors operating in the shadows. Some argue that secret bases might serve as launching pads for covert operations, intelligence gathering, and even as detention facilities. The idea of secret military bases in the Sahara also intertwines with local folklore and popular culture. Tales of mysterious lights, unexplained sounds, and encounters with unidentified aircraft have become part of the desert's lore, inspiring novels, films, and documentaries. The Sahara Desert, with its vast, unexplored landscapes, has long been a treasure trove for paleontologists and fossil enthusiasts. Hidden beneath its shifting sands lie remnants of an ancient world where prehistoric creatures once roamed. The desert's geological history has created unique conditions for the preservation of fossils, including those of dinosaurs, making it a significant location for scientific discoveries. The region's prehistoric secrets began to be unveiled in the early 20th century, with expeditions uncovering dinosaur bones, including the famous Spinosaurus, a gigantic carnivorous dinosaur that once stalked North Africa. The Saharan rocks have also revealed various other species, from flying reptiles to ancient crocodiles, painting a rich picture of a vibrant ecosystem that existed millions of years ago. Perhaps one of the most astonishing findings in the Sahara is the dinosaur graveyard at Gadufawa in Niger. This site has provided some of the best preserved skeletons of the Cretaceous period, including those of the long-necked Nigersaurus and the predatory Suchomimus. Researchers believe that these graveyards were created by cataclysmic events such as droughts or floods, trapping and preserving the remains of entire communities of prehistoric animals. The discoveries in the Sahara have not been limited to dinosaurs alone. Fossils of early human ancestors, prehistoric mammals, and ancient marine life have also been unearthed. These findings have shed light on the evolutionary history of the African continent and have even challenged prevailing theories about the development of life on Earth. Despite these remarkable discoveries, the Sahara's vastness and harsh conditions have made exploration and excavation a challenging task. Many areas remain untouched, and the shifting sands constantly conceal and reveal new secrets. Political instability and lack of funding have also hampered research efforts in some regions. In popular culture, the Sahara's prehistoric fossils and dinosaur graveyards have ignited imaginations, giving rise to legends and tales of lost worlds waiting to be rediscovered. They serve as a reminder of the Earth's dynamic and ever-changing nature, where entire landscapes can be transformed and giants of the past can be hidden beneath a sea of sand. The scientific and historical significance of the Sahara's fossil sites cannot be overstated. They are not merely relics of the past, but living connections to a time long gone, allowing us to understand our planet's history and the complex web of life that has shaped it. As we continue to delve into the Sahara's ancient mysteries, we are likely to uncover even more astonishing insights into the story of life on Earth. Whether for the professional scientist or the curious traveler, the Sahara's prehistoric landscapes offer a window into a world that has long vanished, but continues to fascinate and inspire. When you look at the vast and timeless desert of Egypt, the word Kemet might not immediately come to mind. Yet this term, which means black land in the ancient Egyptian language, was once used to describe this area, highlighting the fertile soil along the banks of the Nile River, the lifeblood of the civilization we know today as ancient Egypt. But were the Kemites merely skilled farmers and pyramid builders, or was there more to them? Could there possibly be connections to other worldly beings? The term Kemites stems from Kemet, which translates to the Black Land in the ancient Egyptian language. This phrase illustrates the contrast between the fertile black soil of the Nile River's banks and the harsh surrounding desert, often referred to as Deshret, or the Red Land. However, the term Kemet signifies far more than a geographical landscape. It represented a civilization that was one of the most enduring and influential in human history. The people of Kemet, the Kemetes, constructed a culture that has contributed a great deal to the world in various fields such as architecture, mathematics, science, and art. The Kemites were builders of an incredible magnitude. They are known for the creation of the pyramids, grand burial structures for their pharaohs, and the Sphinx, one of the most iconic monuments worldwide. The sheer precision and scale of these constructions are an enduring testament to their engineering prowess and architectural ingenuity. They were also highly sophisticated in their administrative systems, maintaining detailed records of their pharaohs, political affairs, and religious rituals. These have been crucial in enabling us to piece together the history and societal structure of Kemet. The religion of the Kemites was intricately woven into every aspect of their daily life. They had a polytheistic belief system with a pantheon of gods and goddesses, each overseeing different aspects of life and nature. These religious beliefs not only guided their moral code, but also played a significant role in their understanding of the world, life, death, and the afterlife. In the realm of art, Kemites were masterful. Their sculptures, paintings, and pottery were not only beautiful, but also carried significant symbolic meaning. These artifacts provide a window into their values, beliefs, and everyday life, contributing to our understanding of this extraordinary civilization. The association between the Kemites and extraterrestrial theories mainly originates from their incredible achievements in construction, astronomy, and science that appear to far surpass what would have been achievable with the technology thought to be available to them. This includes, most notably, the construction of the pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx, which showcase an astounding level of precision and understanding of complex mathematics and engineering. One element of this theory focuses on the construction of the pyramids, specifically the Great Pyramid of Giza. The pyramid's alignment with the magnetic North Pole, the precise dimensions and ratios correlating with complex mathematics and astronomical phenomena, and the extraordinary undertaking of constructing such a monument with huge stones, all have led some to question whether the Kemites had help from technologically advanced extraterrestrial beings. Moreover, the precise alignment of the pyramids of Giza with the stars in the belt of Orion has also been used as evidence for this theory. This alignment, along with various other astronomical alignments found in their architecture and art, suggests a deep understanding of the cosmos that seems uncannily advanced for the time. Another aspect of Kemet's civilization that feeds into this theory is their mythology and religious beliefs. Ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs and artwork are full of references to sky gods, powerful beings who descended from the stars and strange objects seen in the sky. Proponents of the ancient astronaut theory suggest that these are not myths or symbols, but literal depictions of extraterrestrial visitors. It's worth noting, however, that these theories often come under scrutiny. Many scholars argue that these theories underestimate the ingenuity, intelligence, and skills of ancient human civilizations. They point out that with an understanding of simple machines, human labor, and time, the Kemites could have achieved these remarkable constructions on their own. Whether or not the Kemites had extraterrestrial help is a matter of personal belief. What is undeniable is the awe-inspiring and influential legacy that Kemet's civilization has left behind. Now, diving into the advanced knowledge of the Kemites. Now, this is where things get really interesting. The civilization of Kemet was notably advanced for its time, with numerous achievements in various fields such as astronomy, mathematics, architecture, and medicine. Firstly, the Kemites were skilled astronomers. Their understanding of celestial bodies was so profound that they were able to develop a calendar that is almost as accurate as the one we use today. Based on the movements of the sun, moon, and stars, they formulated a 365-day calendar divided into 12 months. This marked a significant leap in the understanding of timekeeping. Moreover, they developed complex mathematical concepts, including fractions and geometric principles, which allowed them to create stunning architectural masterpieces such as the pyramids. They understood principles of engineering, physics, and geometry that wouldn't be rediscovered until thousands of years later. In the field of medicine, Kemites demonstrated advanced knowledge too. Papyrus scripts reveal they had knowledge of human anatomy, surgical procedures, and even remedies for various ailments. Their medical practices were so developed that some even argue they carried out complex procedures like brain surgery. The complexity of these achievements has led some to speculate about a possible extraterrestrial influence. Could such a civilization have gained such advanced knowledge on their own, or was there external help involved? Theories propose that the Kemites could have had contact with an alien civilization that shared their knowledge with them, sparking the rapid development of their society. But of course, this is all conjecture and the debate continues. Now let's plunge headfirst into one of the most enduring mysteries of the Kemites, the pyramids. The pyramids of Egypt, built by the Kemites, are one of the most recognizable and enigmatic structures of the ancient world. The most famous of them, the Great Pyramid of Giza, is a marvel of engineering and precision that even modern technology struggles to replicate. This Great Pyramid is estimated to consist of over 2.3 million blocks of stone, each weighing an average of 2.5 tons, and some even up to 15 tons. The precision of its construction is staggering. Its base is level to within just 2.1 centimeters, and the sides are oriented to the cardinal directions within 3 arc minutes. The construction methodology behind such a mammoth task is an enduring mystery. Several theories have been proposed about how these structures were built, from simple manual labor to complex machines, and even supernatural or alien assistance. One of the most prevalent theories is that the Kemites constructed a spiraling ramp to haul the massive stones to the required heights. However, the sheer logistics of such a venture in terms of workforce, resources, and time make this theory a subject of debate. More fringe theories have posited that the Kemites had access to advanced technology, perhaps even extraterrestrial. These theories often point to the precision and alignment of the pyramids with celestial bodies, a task that would seemingly require a more advanced understanding of mathematics and astronomy than was available at the time. One of the most fascinating elements of Kemet's rich culture is its art. This isn't simply due to its aesthetic appeal, but more intriguingly, the narratives and depictions that the art encompasses. The Kemetic art includes a wide range of expressive forms, from sculpture and architecture to relief and pottery, and of course the remarkable hieroglyphic writing system. Looking closer at the artwork, some researchers and theorists have pointed out representations that could potentially denote alien encounters. This is a contentious interpretation and is not universally accepted by historians or Egyptologists, but it certainly makes for a compelling discussion. Among the most cited pieces are the relief depictions found in the Temple of Seti, once in Abydos. This particular relief has stirred controversy as it seems to show objects resembling modern-day helicopters, submarines, and even spaceships. How could this be, given that these technologies wouldn't exist for thousands of years after the relief was created? Then there are the depictions of the gods themselves. Many of them, like the sky god Horus, who is represented as a man with the head of a falcon, and the god Ra, who is frequently portrayed traveling through the sky in a sunboat, are theorized by some to symbolize extraterrestrial beings. Critics argue these interpretations are merely a result of pareidolia, the human tendency to perceive meaningful patterns where none actually exist. However, proponents of the alien theory believe that these peculiarities are too significant to dismiss as coincidence. What's clear is that Kemetic art, laden with its mystical symbols and cryptic depictions, is still a fertile ground for exploration and interpretation. While the Kemetic civilization's feats of engineering, medicine, and astronomy were truly remarkable, some believe the alien connection theories are a step too far, an overly speculative leap that discounts the achievements of the ancient Kemites themselves. In this segment, we delve into the skepticism and the rational view of these theories. Firstly, it's important to acknowledge that correlation does not imply causation. Yes, there are intriguing overlaps between some ancient Egyptian depictions and what we might interpret as UFOs or alien figures today. But this doesn't necessarily mean that aliens were involved. After all, to the untrained eye, a cloud can resemble a dragon or a castle, but this doesn't make it so. Many experts and historians argue that interpreting the gods and hieroglyphs as aliens or UFOs is a form of cultural reductionism, simplifying complex, symbolic artwork into an anachronistic, literal interpretation. Egyptologists point out that hieroglyphs were highly stylized, symbolic, and sacred, often representing ideas or concepts rather than physical entities. The advanced knowledge demonstrated by the Kemites, while certainly impressive, may be more a testament to their sophisticated understanding of mathematics, astronomy, and engineering, rather than alien intervention. Remember, the Kemites were one of the longest-lasting civilizations in human history, giving them ample time to develop and refine their knowledge. Finally, there's the issue of Occam's razor, the principle that the simplest explanation is usually the best one. In this case, the simpler explanation is that the Kemites, through hundreds of years of intellectual pursuit, achieved their advancements on their own. While the idea of ancient alien visitations is an exciting theory, it adds a layer of complexity and speculation that isn't necessarily supported by hard evidence. So were the Kemites, the people of the Black Land, the benefactors of alien knowledge? Or were they simply skilled artisans, scientists and builders who utilized their understanding of the world around them to create one of the most enduring and fascinating civilizations in human history? Like the Sphinx, the answer remains enigmatic, silently gazing out into the sands of time. But one thing's for sure, the legacy of the Kemites, whether divinely, extraterrestrially, or humanly inspired, continues to captivate us, and will likely do so for many millennia to come. Picture the grandeur of ancient Egypt, mighty pharaohs, the majestic Sphinx, and of course the awe-inspiring pyramids. Now, take a leap through time to the Roman Empire, famous for its innovative engineering and renowned military conquests. But what if I told you that these two mighty civilizations are more intertwined than you'd ever imagined? What if the pyramids, one of the ancient world's greatest wonders, held a fascinating chapter in the narrative of Roman expansion? Yes, that's right. Today we'll dive into the dramatic shift from the pharaonic era of Egypt to its time under Roman rule and unravel the influence of the Romans on Egypt's most iconic structures. To appreciate the magnitude of change that the end of the pharaohs era marked, we must first understand the incredible influence and grandeur of the ancient Egyptian civilization. Spanning over 3,000 years, the era of the pharaohs was marked by a series of ruling dynasties, each leaving its mark on the land of the Nile. From the Old Kingdom era, when the pyramids were constructed, to the Middle and New Kingdoms, when Egypt expanded its influence through military campaigns and trade, the civilization thrived, prospered, and demonstrated its resilience in the face of historical turmoil. And at the heart of it all were the pharaohs, the god-kings of Egypt, the intermediaries between the gods and the people. Through an intricate, deeply spiritual system of governance, these rulers commanded the respect and devotion of their subjects, ensuring the continuity of their civilization. However, the arrival of Alexander the Great in 332 BC marked a significant turning point. The Ptolemaic dynasty that he established was Hellenistic in nature, marking the beginning of the end of pharaonic rule. Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh, was a symbol of this fusion of Greek and Egyptian cultures. Her intelligence, charisma, and strategic alliances with Roman leaders Julius Caesar and Mark Antony made her a significant historical figure. Yet her reign was fraught with political challenges and personal tragedies. When she famously took her life in 30 BC, the age of the pharaohs effectively ended. The Egypt that Cleopatra left behind was an empire on the precipice of profound change. This period marked the end of Egypt's independence and the beginning of a new era under the control of a burgeoning empire. Rome. Now, as we move into the Roman conquest of Egypt, we find ourselves navigating a series of strategic moves and political intrigues. With the death of Cleopatra, the land of the Nile was effectively annexed by Rome and turned into a province under the control of Octavian, who would later be known as Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. But why was Egypt so attractive to the Romans? The reasons were primarily economic and strategic. Egypt was the breadbasket of the Mediterranean. Its fertile lands, nourished by the annual flooding of the Nile, yielded crops that fed the Roman populace and fueled its armies. Plus, it was a gateway to the riches of Africa and the Near East. Roman control of Egypt marked a significant shift in power dynamics, as it was the first time Egypt had been ruled by a foreign power. Yet even as the Romans wielded their influence, they couldn't ignore the deep cultural and religious roots of the Egyptians. They adopted some of the local gods, including Isis and even the tradition of pharaohs to an extent. The Roman emperors, like the pharaohs before them, projected themselves as godlike figures, often adorning themselves in traditional Egyptian garb in statues and reliefs. Still, as they maintained this facade of cultural integration, the Romans also pursued their own interests. One such interest, intriguingly, might have been the mysterious and awe-inspiring structures dotting the Egyptian landscape, the pyramids. So what did it really mean to be Egypt under Roman rule? While there was certainly cultural assimilation as Romans adopted Egyptian gods and traditions, Egypt also became a Roman province. This meant taxation, and Egypt was heavily taxed. The fertile Nile Delta was a treasure trove producing grain, papyrus, and precious gems, all of which found their way into Roman coffers. Yet even as the riches of Egypt fueled the Roman Empire, there were also periods of unrest. The Egyptian populace, after centuries of being ruled by god-kings, now found themselves subjects of a distant emperor and Roman bureaucrats who were more interested in wealth extraction than in the preservation of the ancient Egyptian culture. The impact of the Roman rule on the Egyptian landscape was also significant. Roman architecture began to sprout across Egypt, from the coastal city of Alexandria to the southern city of Aswan. Temples to Roman gods were constructed alongside ancient Egyptian temples, and Roman-styled villas were built alongside traditional Egyptian homes. The juxtaposition of these two distinct architectural styles showcases the collision of two powerful civilizations. In the midst of this cultural and architectural synthesis, the pyramids stood timeless. What the Romans thought of these ancient structures and how they interacted with them is a question that delves deep into the realm of speculation, a curiosity that tickles our imagination. The pyramids, timeless behemoths of stone, their grandeur a testament to a civilization's past glory. But when the Romans first laid their eyes on them, what did they think? What did they do? We know from various accounts that the Romans, like the Greeks before them, were fascinated by the pyramids. Their size, their age, their engineering, everything about them was a wonder. Some Roman writers, such as Pliny the Elder, wrote extensively about them. Pliny, in his Natural History, called them an idle and foolish exhibition of royal wealth, but his detailed descriptions betray a fascination with their complexity and longevity. But did the Romans ever venture inside? Were they, as some believe, the last people to raid the pyramids for their treasure? Archaeological evidence suggests that by the time the Romans arrived in Egypt, the pyramids had been standing for over 2,000 years. Many of them were already heavily looted, and most of the treasure was long gone. The Great Pyramid itself was sealed, and it is highly unlikely the Romans had the technology to break in without leaving evidence of their intrusion. Yet stories of Roman treasure hunters guided by ancient maps and legends seeking the secrets of the pyramids persist. Could there have been rogue Roman officials or adventurous explorers who attempted to find hidden chambers and undiscovered loot? The notion is romantic, albeit historically tenuous. In truth, the Romans probably treated the pyramids with the same curiosity and awe as we do. They were relics of a bygone era, timeless monuments that represented a civilization that was ancient even in their time. Rather than the ransacking conquerors some may envision, the Romans may have been the first tourists gazing upon the wonders of a fallen empire. The line between treasure hunter and archaeologist can be a blurry one. Did Romans ransack the pyramids in search of hidden wealth, or were they preservationists, attempting to safeguard and understand these impressive structures? Let's dive deeper. We have records of Roman emperors such as Augustus and Hadrian visiting Egypt and expressing a great interest in its antiquities. In fact, many Roman leaders funded expeditions to explore and document Egypt's monuments. They brought back a wealth of knowledge about Egyptian culture, language, and history. So it's clear the Romans held a fascination for Egypt's past, but did this translate into a respect for its physical artifacts? Unfortunately, the answer is not straightforward. While some Roman officials genuinely sought to understand and preserve Egypt's heritage, others saw the ancient monuments as resources to be exploited. For example, there's evidence of stone from the pyramids being quarried for other building projects. The situation gets even murkier when we consider the concept of treasure hunting. The phrase conjures images of rogue explorers plundering tombs and temples for gold and jewels. But in the context of the Roman period, treasure could also refer to knowledge, historical artifacts, or even mystical power. Pyramids with their ancient hidden chambers could hold untold secrets in the Roman imagination. In a strange twist of fate, the Roman obsession with Egypt might have inadvertently led to some preservation. Many Egyptian artifacts found their way to Rome, effectively being saved from the ravages of time and later, more destructive conquerors. So the Romans' relationship with the pyramids and Egypt's treasures was complicated, to say the least. A mix of reverence, curiosity, greed, and pragmatism that has left us with a wealth of questions and a rich, albeit confounding, historical legacy. The Roman period was a pivotal chapter in the long, complex story of Egypt. How the Romans interacted with the pyramids, the Sphinx, and other Egyptian antiquities has significantly shaped our understanding of these iconic structures. For one thing, Romans played a key role in the spread of Egyptomania, the fascination with all things Egyptian. This phenomenon was popular in Rome even before Egypt was annexed as a province. Statues, obelisks, and other Egyptian antiquities were transported to Rome to decorate public buildings and private villas, and the Roman aristocracy even had a fad for Egyptian-style garden ornaments. But Rome's influence went beyond simply popularizing Egyptian style. Roman engineers, architects, and scholars also studied and documented Egyptian monuments in great detail. The records they left behind have been invaluable for modern Egyptologists, providing insight into the state of these structures in antiquity. Another Roman contribution was the preservation of Egypt's built heritage, albeit indirectly. By incorporating Egypt into their empire, the Romans brought relative stability and prosperity to the region, allowing for the maintenance and repair of ancient monuments. While there were cases of Romans quarrying stone from the pyramids for their own construction projects on the whole, these monuments were largely respected and preserved during the Roman period. However, the Romans also unwittingly contributed to some destruction. The trade in Egyptian antiquities, coupled with the frequent treasure hunts, led to the loss and damage of many artifacts and structures. Overall, the Romans left an indelible mark on Egypt and its ancient heritage. Their influence is evident in everything from the physical state of the pyramids to our contemporary fascination with this civilization. The story of the Romans and the pyramids is a complex tapestry, woven from threads of curiosity, respect, exploitation, and ultimately preservation. It's a testament to the enduring allure of Egypt's past and a reminder of how our understanding of history is shaped not only by the events of antiquity, but by those who have studied it in the centuries since. Do you ever wonder how much truth lies beneath the tales of old? Ancient myths and legends filled with gods, heroes, and fantastical beasts often seem too extraordinary to hold any factual basis. Yet there are instances where archaeology, history, and science have unveiled truths hidden within these tales. Yes, some ancient myths have a kernel of reality within their layers of symbolism and metaphor. Today, we are going to delve into 7 fascinating cases where myth intertwines with history, where the lines between fact and fiction blur, and ancient stories reveal their true colors. The city of Troy, famous in Homer's Iliad, was once considered purely fictional, a tale to fascinate listeners and readers. The city was described as grand, filled with mighty warriors and noble kings, and the setting for the legendary Trojan War. The Greek hero Achilles, the Trojan prince Hector, and the beautiful Helen. They were all characters in this drama, but could it be that these characters were not just part of an epic poem, but people who once lived and breathed? In the 19th century, archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann became fascinated with the idea that the Homeric legends had a basis in historical fact. Rather than dismissing the Iliad as mere fiction, Schliemann used it as a map. He followed the detailed descriptions and geographical clues that Homer had left in his text. His obsession brought him to Hisarlik, a site in modern-day Turkey. In Hisarlik, Schliemann began to dig. His excavations revealed a multi-layered city, one that had been built and rebuilt over the centuries. Artifacts dating back to the Bronze Age were found, and the layout of the city matched that described in Homer's epic. The walls of the city, the gates, the placement of buildings, it all pointed to one conclusion. This was the site of the ancient city of Troy. Critics questioned Schliemann's methods and interpretations. They argued that his desire to find Troy may have led him to see what he wanted to see, but subsequent excavations by other archaeologists have supported Schliemann's claim. While it's challenging to prove that the Trojan War, as described by Homer, actually occurred, there's no longer any doubt that a city existed at Hisarlik, a city that fits the description and timeline of Homer's Troy. Let's step into the ancient city of Babylon, one of the most famous cities of the ancient world and home to one of the 7 wonders, the Hanging Gardens. This marvel is wrapped in an enigmatic aura, largely because despite numerous historical accounts of its existence, no physical evidence of the gardens has ever been found. But wait, how can something so grand, so monumental, simply vanish without a trace? The Hanging Gardens were said to be an architectural masterpiece, a testament to human ingenuity and a challenge to Mother Nature herself. They were purportedly built by King Nebuchadnezzar II around 600 BC for his wife Amytis, who was homesick for the lush green landscapes of her homeland Media. It's like if you can't go to the mountain, bring the mountain to you. But this mountain was a little more than a mound of earth. This was a spectacular terrace garden filled with exotic plants and trees, adorned with intricate irrigation systems. Historians believe that the gardens were tiered, much like a ziggurat, with each level teeming with a diverse array of flora. The plants were not rooted in the earth directly, but in a roofed area where a complex irrigation system fed water from the Euphrates River. This marvel of engineering, essentially a primitive form of hydroponics, is a testament to the advanced understanding of engineering and horticulture by the Babylonians. The Hanging Gardens must have been a sight to behold. Imagine a city in the desert, its arid beige landscape broken by a towering structure teeming with greenery. A beacon of life and color cascading down in tiers, a spectacle of nature suspended in the air. It was a marvel that, even in the absence of physical evidence, has left an indelible mark on the annals of human civilization. However, recent research has suggested that the Hanging Gardens may not have been located in Babylon at all. Dr. Stephanie Daly, an Assyriologist from the University of Oxford, posits that the gardens were actually located in the Assyrian city of Nineveh. She bases her theory on a retranslation of ancient texts and points out that Babylon was often used in texts to refer generically to any area of Mesopotamia. King Midas, a character from ancient Greek mythology known far and wide for his ability to turn everything he touched into gold, aptly named the Golden Touch. This might sound like a superpower to most, but as the tale unfolds, we learn that it's not all it's cracked up to be. But where does this story come from and how does it stand up to the facts? King Midas was a historical figure, a Phrygian king who reigned in the 8th century BC. The ancient Greeks believed he was the son of Gordeus and Cybele, the goddess of fertility. So far, so historical, right? But here's where it gets a little golden. According to legend, Midas helped the drunken Silenus, a companion of the god Dionysus, back home. In gratitude, Dionysus offered to grant Midas a single wish. Overwhelmed with greed, Midas wished for everything he touched to turn into gold. At first, Midas was overjoyed. The ability to generate infinite wealth with a simple touch seemed like a dream come true. But the dream rapidly turned into a nightmare. When he attempted to eat, his food turned into inedible gold. When he tried to drink, his water transformed into molten gold. Even his beloved daughter, whom he accidentally touched, turned into a golden statue. His blessing was, in fact, a curse. Stricken with despair, he begged Dionysus to remove his golden touch. The god agreed, instructing Midas to wash in the river Pactolus to reverse the enchantment. But here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. The river Pactolus, located in what is now modern Turkey, was renowned in ancient times for its rich deposits of gold. Even today, gold dust can be found in its waters. Was this the result of some geological phenomenon? Or could it be that there's some truth to the myth of King Midas after all? What's more, archaeological evidence suggests that the kingdom of Phrygia was known for its wealth and craft in working with gold. The Midas Mound burial site in Gordian, Turkey, named for the legendary king, contained a wealth of golden artifacts when it was excavated in the 1950s. The concept of a cataclysmic flood that wipes out most of life on Earth is a common thread in many ancient cultures, leading us to wonder, could this possibly be grounded in some historical reality? We have the biblical account of Noah's Ark, but there are also similar tales from the ancient Sumerians, Greeks, Hindus, Chinese, and Native Americans, among others. Even in an era before global communication, this story seems to have been replicated in cultures thousands of miles apart. So could these flood myths be more than just stories? In the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known works of literature dating back to ancient Sumeria, we encounter the story of Utnapishtim. Utnapishtim was warned by the god Enki of a coming flood and instructed to build a boat to save himself, his family, and all the animals. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? The parallels between this story and the biblical account of Noah are uncanny. In Greece, we have the myth of Deucalion and Pyrrha, who are the only survivors of a great deluge sent by an angry Zeus. In Hindu mythology, there's the story of Manu, who builds a boat to survive a flood that engulfs the earth. These stories, despite originating from different cultures and time periods, share a remarkable similarity. It's easy to dismiss these tales as coincidental or symbolic, but geological evidence suggests that large-scale flooding did occur in various parts of the world at different times. For instance, around 5600 BC, a catastrophic event known as the Black Sea Deluge may have flooded a vast area of land. Another fascinating theory revolves around the end of the last ice age, around 10,000 BC, when melting ice caps would have caused sea levels to rise significantly, potentially submerging coastal civilizations and giving rise to flood legends. In North America, there's evidence of the Missoula floods, a series of cataclysmic floods that occurred between 15,000 and 13,000 years ago at the end of the last ice age. These floods, caused by the periodic rupturing of ice dams, were of such a scale that they dramatically altered the landscape of parts of Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. So while we can't say for certain that any one of these flood myths is a direct account of these events, the geological evidence does suggest that our ancient ancestors had to deal with catastrophic floods. Their collective memory of these terrifying events may have been passed down through generations, slowly morphing into the flood myths we know today. The idea of a great flood, it seems, may not be entirely mythical after all. It's a fascinating testament to the way humans, across cultures and across time, make sense of the natural world and its sometimes catastrophic events. The ancient city of Helak, often referred to as the real-life Atlantis, is a fascinating tale of an entire city that supposedly disappeared overnight. The city was an important center of the Achaean civilization, predating Athens and holding significant power and influence in the region. It was famed for its sanctuary of Poseidon, the god of the sea, earthquakes, and horses. The story goes that one fateful winter night in 373 BC, the city was obliterated. But this was no ordinary destruction. According to ancient texts, the city sank into a lagoon, disappearing beneath the waves in a single night, following a combination of a powerful earthquake and a subsequent tsunami. The city, its buildings, and its inhabitants were lost beneath the sea, leaving no trace on the surface. The event was so catastrophic that it was said to have inspired the philosopher Plato's account of Atlantis. But was Helike just a myth? For centuries, the story was treated as such, until modern archaeologists decided to investigate. In the late 20th century, a team led by Greek archaeologist Dora Katsonopoulou launched an expedition to find the lost city. After a lengthy search in 2001, they finally found something remarkable: ruins submerged in a lagoon near the village of Rizomelos, including a large building with archaic walls, classical ceramic fragments, and even bronze artifacts, all dated back to when Helike was supposed to have existed. The findings suggested that the city had been struck by a massive earthquake which liquefied the ground, a process known as soil liquefaction. This, coupled with the tsunami that followed, would have swallowed up the city, much as the ancient texts described. Excavations are still ongoing, but every uncovered artifact adds credibility to a story once thought to be a myth. When we think of the Amazons, images of fierce, independent warrior women might spring to mind thanks to Greek mythology. These women were said to have lived apart from men, only interacting with them for procreation. They were described as equals to men in physical agility and courage, legendary for their skills in battle and their ruthlessness. But how much of this was myth and how much was reality? Ancient Greek historians such as Herodotus wrote detailed accounts of the Amazons, but for a long time these stories were treated as just that, stories. The idea of a society of warrior women living in a land beyond the realms of the known world seemed fantastical. But then, archaeology stepped in and offered us a different perspective. In the 1990s, a series of graves were uncovered in the Eurasian steppe, specifically in areas around modern-day Russia and Kazakhstan, which dramatically changed our understanding of the Amazons. The graves contained the remains of women buried with weapons, including arrows and spears, as well as horse-riding gear, equipment that mirrored what was described in the tales of the Amazons. Even more striking was the evidence of battle scars on the bones, including arrowheads lodged in the bodies. indicating that these women were not just buried with weapons for symbolic reasons. They were warriors who had actively participated in combat. These findings suggest that the myth of the Amazons might have been inspired by real warrior women from the Scythian culture, a nomadic group that inhabited these areas. This discovery has had a profound impact on how we interpret the myth of the Amazons. It suggests that the ancient Greeks may have had contacts with these warrior women, either through trade or warfare, and their stories were then woven into the rich tapestry of Greek mythology. We've journeyed from the walls of Troy to the hanging gardens of Babylon, from the touch of King Midas to the shores of the lost city of Helac. We've seen how the myth of the fierce Amazon women held a reality. These instances show us that the boundary between myth and reality is not as rigid as we might think. Indeed, our understanding of the past is an ever-evolving tapestry of fact, interpretation, and storytelling. It reminds us that within every myth, there may lie a grain of truth waiting to be uncovered. Until next time, remember, the world is full of mysteries and our quest for knowledge is never-ending. And as always, keep your mind open and keep questioning.
By all accounts, we are looking, if we take what's still under the ground into account, we're looking at the largest megalithic site that's ever been created on Earth.
Göbekli Tepe is a site that truly boggles the mind, taking us back over 11,000 years to a time when prehistoric peoples demonstrated remarkable capabilities that challenge our understanding of early human civilization.
The sudden appearance, 7,000 years before Stonehenge, of a megalithic site that dwarfs Stonehenge, to me that's a mystery, and it's really worth inquiring into.
Imagine this. Massive stone pillars, each carved from limestone using nothing more than simple stone tools. It's a task that would require not just considerable skill, but a collective effort from a group of people who had yet to discover the wheel or metal tools. These pillars weren't just any stones, they were shaped into T-forms, a design that's unique to Göbekli Tepe, standing up to 5.5 meters tall and weighing up to 20 tons.
One of the many ways that Göbekli Tepe, I think, is going to prove to be a game changer is it's going to require us to reconsider our whole dating sequence on megalithic sites around the world.
The effort to transport and erect these massive stones without modern technology is nothing short of astonishing. Using levers, ropes, and wooden sledges, the people of Göbekli Tepe managed to move these enormous stones over considerable distances, a testament to their ingenuity and teamwork. This wasn't a small feat, it required a high level of social organization and cooperation, suggesting that this community was far from the nomadic bands of hunter-gatherers we often imagine.
So why did archaeologists tell us for so long hunter-gatherers couldn't do it and we needed agricultural populations that could generate surpluses that could pay for the specialists
that was the theory.
Instead, they were capable of complex planning and communal effort, likely driven by shared beliefs and common goals. The technological innovation and architectural planning evident in Göbekli Tepe's construction are truly ahead of their time. The precision in the carving and erection of the pillars, along with the thoughtful layout of the site, show an advanced understanding of stone masonry and basic engineering principles. This sophistication challenges the simplistic view we often have of prehistoric societies, revealing a people capable of complex thought and remarkable feats of engineering. When you dive into the story of Göbekli Tepe, you're not just exploring ancient ruins, you're stepping into a world where prehistoric peoples pulled off engineering marvels that would be daunting even by today's standards. Picture this, a community back in the 10th millennium BCE without access to metal tools, the wheel, or any form of animal labor, decides to build something extraordinary. They set their sights on massive limestone pillars, each one towering over 5 meters high and weighing around 10 tons. And they decide to quarry, shape, transport, and erect these giants using nothing but stone hammers, wooden tools, and sheer human will. It's a scenario that might make a modern engineer blink twice. These ancient builders leveraged ingenious methods, likely rolling these colossal stones over logs or dragging them on sleds made from tree trunks, all coordinated by what must have been an incredible communal effort. Just imagine the sight, hundreds of people coming together, each one playing a part in this monumental task. It wasn't just about physical strength, it required a high degree of planning, coordination, and social organization. suggesting that these early communities were far more complex than we often give them credit for. And let's talk about the layout of Göbekli Tepe. It wasn't a haphazard arrangement of stones.
Göbekli Tepe is a bit more nuanced. You know, we have stone circles, we have some interesting astronomical alignments. The world's first perfectly north-south aligned building.
These T-shaped pillars were carefully positioned to form circular enclosures, a testament to the builders' advanced planning and knowledge of stonemasonry. They understood the properties of limestone, knew how to quarry large blocks and shape them with precision. The placement of each pillar was intentional, reflecting a deep understanding of geometry and structural engineering. Göbekli Tepe is like a time capsule that's slowly revealing its secrets to us, and among its most captivating mysteries are the potential astronomical alignments hidden within its ancient stone circles. Imagine standing among these massive pillars over 10,000 years ago, looking up at the night sky. Some researchers think that the people who built Göbekli Tepe did more than just admire the stars. They aligned their monumental structures with them. The idea that these ancient builders could align their creations with constellations like Sirius or Orion, or mark the solstices and equinoxes, is mind-blowing. It suggests they were not just master builders, but also early astronomers, tracking the heavens with an accuracy that challenges our assumptions about prehistoric peoples. This possibility opens up all sorts of fascinating questions about how and why they did this. If the alignments at Göbekli Tepe were intentional, it could mean that these ancient builders had their own form of astronomical observation, maybe even a basic calendar system. Göbekli Tepe and the lack of evidence for permanent settlement presents a fascinating glimpse into the spiritual life of people over 11,000 years ago. This site, rather than serving as a home or village, appears to have been a significant ceremonial or pilgrimage destination. The absence of typical domestic remains, such as extensive cooking hearths or trash pits that would indicate long-term habitation, suggests that Göbekli Tepe was not a place where people lived year-round. Instead, it was likely visited by various groups for specific purposes, possibly related to religious or spiritual practices. This realization points to a level of social complexity and spiritual or religious depth that predates the advent of agriculture and settled life, challenging the conventional sequence of societal development. The stone pillars of Göbekli Tepe, carved with an impressive array of reliefs and symbols, are among the earliest known examples of narrative art, offering profound insights into the prehistoric mind. These carvings feature a diverse menagerie of animals: foxes, lions, bulls, snakes, wild boars, and birds, each meticulously rendered, suggesting a deep reverence or symbolic significance attached to these creatures. The presence of such carvings indicates not only advanced artistic skills and aesthetic sensibilities, but also suggests these animals held particular meanings for the people who created them. They could represent clan totems, spiritual guides, or mythological stories central to the community's beliefs and rituals. Moreover, the humanoid figures, some of which appear to be depicted wearing animal skins, hint at early forms of shamanistic practices, or the veneration of deities or priests donned in ceremonial garb. These figures could represent intermediaries between the physical world and the spiritual realm, playing crucial roles in the rituals and ceremonies conducted at the site. The abstract symbols found alongside the more representational carvings add another layer of complexity to our understanding of Göbekli Tepe's spiritual significance. These symbols could be early attempts at encoding sacred knowledge, marking significant events, or conveying complex concepts related to cosmology, theology, or social order. The carvings on Göbekli Tepe's pillars, therefore, are not merely decorative, but are deeply imbued with meaning, serving as a tangible connection to the beliefs, rituals, and cosmologies of prehistoric peoples. They provide a window into a world where spirituality was expressed through the medium of stone, and where the natural and supernatural realms were closely intertwined. The story of Göbekli Tepe is like something out of a movie, an ancient site buried under tons of soil and debris around 8000 BCE, only to be rediscovered and shake up everything we thought we knew about the dawn of civilization. This wasn't just a case of a lost city getting swallowed up by the sands of time. It was an intentional act, a massive project that likely took as much effort and organization as the construction of the site itself. Why would a society go through such lengths to bury this place? The theories are as fascinating as they are varied, ranging from ritualistic closure to a strategic move for preservation against natural disasters or even invasions. But here's the kicker. Göbekli Tepe turns the Neolithic Revolution's narrative on its head. The common story is that agriculture kick-started the rise of complex societies and monumental architecture.
The idea that we come across that another turn of the spade reveals information that causes us to reconsider not just was it hunter-gatherers or agriculturalists, but perhaps something bigger than this is involved.
Yet here we have an elaborate complex built by hunter-gatherers long before farming took hold. It suggests that the impulse to gather for religious or ceremonial reasons might have been a driving force behind settling down and forming communities. This discovery forces us to rethink not just the timeline of human history, but the very factors that drive societal development. Göbekli Tepe shows us that hunter-gatherer societies were capable of a level of organization, cooperation, and spiritual expression that we usually only attribute to settled farming communities. It hints at a world where shared beliefs and rituals were the glue that held societies together, potentially paving the way for the transition to a sedentary lifestyle.
See, the thing about Noah and the Ark, though, if you go back to that story is very similar to a story that's in the Epic of Gilgamesh.
They found, like, just looking at DNA, that all of humanity at one point got wiped out except for like one village. Everyone has descended from the same group of about 5,000 people.
Picture this. A fertile land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, cradling the dawn of recorded human history. This is where the Sumerians thrived, a civilization that emerged over 5,000 years ago and left an enduring mark on the world. They were one of the first cultures to develop writing, a monumental achievement that changed the course of human history forever. Their story starts with small farming communities, taking advantage of the rich soil deposited by the rivers. But things evolved rapidly. Around 4000 BCE, a city called Uruk started booming, becoming one of the world's first major cities. This period, known as the Uruk period, saw the invention of writing, the rise of impressive architecture, and the expansion of trade networks, laying the groundwork for the complex societies that would emerge later. Fast forward a few centuries, and by 2900 BCE, several powerful city-states like Eridu, and Lagash were vying for dominance. Each city had its own unique political structure, religious beliefs, and cultural identity. Think of them as independent kingdoms, each with its own way of life. These city-states were the heart and soul of Sumerian civilization. Each one had a central city surrounded by fields, and every aspect of life, from politics and economics to religion and social structure, revolved around this core. The king, or Lugal, was at the top of the pyramid, seen as a divinely chosen leader responsible for the city's well-being. He led the army, ensured justice was served, and oversaw religious ceremonies. Over time, priests also became increasingly influential, reflecting the strong connection between religion and government. Speaking of the economy, the Sumerians were farmers at heart, cultivating grains, legumes, and fruits. Their system was like a big redistribution network. People would contribute a portion of their harvest as taxes, and these resources would then be distributed based on social status and needs. Trade was also crucial, allowing them to acquire things like wood and metal that they couldn't find locally. But not everyone was equal in Sumerian society. There was a clear hierarchy, with the king, priests, and officials at the top, followed by regular citizens like farmers, artisans, and traders. Then came the slaves, mostly captured in wars or forced into servitude due to debt. Religion played a central role in Sumerian life, with each city worshipping its own patron god, believed to protect and bring prosperity. These gods lived in grand temples, which were not just places of worship, but also economic hubs and storehouses. The ziggurat, a massive stepped pyramid, was a distinctive feature, serving as the temple's home and a central point for religious activities. We talked about the rise of Sumerian city-states and how they functioned, but let's zoom in and explore some of the most famous Sumerian cities. Uruk is like the OG of cities. Often considered the world's first true city, it was a hotbed of innovation and power. Imagine massive ziggurats like the Anu Ziggurat and the White Temple. Pretty impressive for a civilization that thrived thousands of years ago. Uruk also gets major props for inventing cuneiform writing, forever changing how humans communicated. Another big name is Ur. This city-state was famous for its towering ziggurat of Ur, a testament to their devotion to the moon god Nana. But Ur wasn't just about religion. It was also a bustling hub for trade and military power. Archaeological evidence shows they were wealthy and artistically skilled. Eridu claims the title of one of the oldest Sumerian cities. Steeped in religious significance, it was dedicated to Enki, the god of water, knowledge, and creation. Think of it as a major center for early religious practices, as evidenced by the archaeological finds unearthed there. Lagash wasn't just another pretty face, it was known for its artistic and architectural contributions. This city wielded significant religious and political influence, leaving behind a treasure trove of archaeological evidence, including sculptures and inscriptions that offer a glimpse into Sumerian culture. So, these are just a few examples of the vibrant and diverse city-states that formed the backbone of Sumerian civilization. Each city had its own unique character and contributions, making them an enduring part of human history. Imagine a world without writing. Now imagine the revolutionary moment when humans first captured their thoughts and stories on a permanent medium. That's exactly what the Sumerians achieved around 3400 BCE with the invention of cuneiform writing. It all started with simple pictures, think emojis, but for ancient Mesopotamia. These pictographs were used on clay tokens to keep track of things like goods and livestock. But over time, these pictures evolved. They became more stylized and eventually transformed into the wedge-shaped symbols we know as cuneiform. While invented by the Sumerians, it was later adapted by other cultures like the Akkadians, Babylonians, and even the Hittites, proving its versatility across languages. So what did people write about with this fancy new writing system? Well, everything from everyday business to epic tales. Cuneiform tablets were used to record economic transactions, track taxes and inventories, and even document the sale of land and livestock. They were basically the spreadsheets and receipts of the ancient world. But cuneiform wasn't just about numbers and practicalities. It was also a powerful tool for storytelling. The Epic of Gilgamesh, a timeless masterpiece exploring themes of friendship, heroism, and mortality, is just one example of the rich literary tradition preserved in cuneiform. Poets and hymn writers also used this script to create beautiful works dedicated to their gods and goddesses, offering us a window into their religious beliefs and practices. Cuneiform even played a crucial role in law and order. The Code of Hammurabi, one of the earliest and most complete written legal codes in history, was inscribed in cuneiform. This code established laws governing everything from contracts and property rights to personal conduct, providing a glimpse into the complexities of Babylonian society. Legal disputes and their resolutions were also documented in cuneiform tablets, shedding light on the legal processes of the time. And let's not forget religion. Mythological stories, epic tales, and even instructions for religious rituals were all meticulously recorded in cuneiform. These texts not only reveal the fascinating mythology of these ancient civilizations, but also highlight the deep connection between religion and daily life in Mesopotamia. Beyond writing and city life, the Sumerians were also total brainiacs, making significant contributions to astronomy, math, and agriculture. These weren't just random discoveries. They had a lasting impact that continues to shape our world today. Let's start with the stars. The Sumerians were among the first to develop a lunar calendar, keeping track of time based on the moon's cycles. This calendar helped them plan their farming, religious festivals, and even their daily routines. Think of it as an ancient to-do list synced to the moon. Their calendar had 12 months, but they weren't afraid to add an extra one every now and then to stay in sync with the seasons. The Sumerians were also math whizzes, inventing the sexagesimal system, which is basically a fancy way of saying they used base 60 instead of our usual base 10. This system might seem strange at first, but it actually had advantages, especially for complex calculations. It's the reason we have 60 minutes in an hour and 360 degrees in a circle, both remnants of this ingenious Sumerian invention. Fractions and advanced astronomical calculations also benefited from this system. Speaking of astronomy, the Sumerians were stargazers extraordinaire. They meticulously recorded their observations of the night sky, mapping out constellations, planets, and even individual stars. This celestial mapping wasn't just for fun. It helped them navigate, keep track of time, and even understand the universe around them, influencing their religious beliefs and practices. Some historians even believe the ziggurats, those massive temple structures, served as giant observatories. Imagine priests using these high platforms to chart the movements of planets and stars, determining the best times to plant and harvest crops. Now things get a bit more controversial. There's a guy named Zecharia Sitchin who had some interesting but ultimately unproven ideas about the Sumerians and their epic poem, the Enuma Elish. Sitchin believed that Nibiru, a planet mentioned in the poem, wasn't just a symbolic thing, but a real giant planet in our solar system with a super long orbit like 3,600 years long. Based on his interpretation of ancient texts and artwork, he thought this planet's movements might explain some cosmic events described in the Enuma Elish. He also argued that the Sumerians had way more advanced knowledge of the cosmos than we previously thought, thanks to some helpful extraterrestrial visitors from Nibiru called the Anunnaki. Sitchin believed these weren't just gods, but actual beings who came to Earth looking for gold and ended up genetically engineering early humans to be their workers. This genetic manipulation, according to Sitchin, explains the rapid development of Sumerian civilization, with its fancy writing, impressive architecture, and organized government.
In the heart of the Mediterranean, where sapphire waters meet rugged shores, lies an archipelago steeped in enigma, Malta, a land where time seems to stand still, yet whispers secrets of civilizations lost to the ages. For millennia, this island nation has guarded its mysteries, buried beneath layers of history and legend. But in the dawn of the 20th century, a discovery would shatter our understanding of Malta's prehistoric past, revealing a subterranean world of unimaginable complexity. 1902, the town of Paola. What began as a routine construction project would unearth a marvel hidden for over 5,000 years. A labyrinth carved from the very heart of the island, a gateway to a lost world. The Hal Saflieni Hypogeum, an underground necropolis, a temple of the dead, a masterpiece of engineering and artistry that predates the pyramids of Egypt, a place where the boundaries between the living and the departed blur.
Nestled in the heart of the Mediterranean, the Maltese islands rise like timeless sentinels, guarding secrets that reach back into the depths of prehistory. This small nation, perched at the crossroads of ancient trade routes, is a tapestry woven with the threads of countless civilizations. Beneath its golden limestone cliffs and rolling fields dotted with wildflowers lies a hidden world, one that predates even the Great Pyramids of Giza and Stonehenge. In 1902, as Malta stood on the brink of modernity, an extraordinary discovery would forever alter our understanding of its ancient past. In the quiet town of Paola, construction workers were laboring to lay foundations for new housing, carving into the soft limestone bedrock. Their chisels and picks, tools of everyday toil, suddenly broke through into an unexpected void. The earth yawned open, revealing a labyrinthine complex that had slumbered in silence for millennia, the Hal Saflieni Hypogeum. This was no ordinary cavern or natural cave. The Hypogeum, from the Greek meaning underground chamber, is a subterranean masterpiece, an intricate complex of interconnecting halls, chambers and passages hewn entirely by human hands between 4000 and 2500 BCE. Descending 3 levels and over 10 meters below the surface, it stands as a monumental achievement of engineering and artistry, To grasp the enormity of this endeavour, consider that the ancient builders meticulously extracted more than 2,000 tons of limestone using only primitive tools fashioned from stone, bone, and antler. Imagine the persistence and skill required to remove a mass equivalent to that of 200 African elephants, or about 1/5 the weight of the Eiffel Tower's iron structure, all without the wheel, without metal tools, without the written word. Leading the effort to uncover the secrets of this underground enigma was Dr. Themistocles Zammit, Malta's first director of museums and a pioneering archaeologist. Reflecting on the discovery, he remarked, "The hypogeum is a monument surpassing all others in its uniqueness, and in the testimony it bears to the high civilization of the people who built it." His dedication ensured that the site was carefully excavated and preserved for future generations. As we venture deeper into the hypogeum's dimly lit corridors, the air grows cool, and the echoes of our footsteps mingle with whispers of the past. The walls and ceilings are adorned with swirling patterns painted in red ochre, spirals, honeycombs, and intricate motifs that may symbolize the cycle of life, the cosmos, or pathways to realms beyond our own. The architecture mirrors that of the megalithic temples above ground, such as Hagar Kim and Menadra, suggesting a seamless connection between the earthly and the divine. Among the treasures unearthed within the depths of the hypogeum is the enigmatic Sleeping Lady, a small terracotta figurine depicting a corpulent woman reclining peacefully on a couch. Her closed eyes and serene expression have captivated scholars and visitors alike. Is she a representation of a mother goddess, symbolizing fertility and rebirth? As archaeologist Setemi Zammit observed, she embodies the enigmatic spirituality of a people whose rituals and beliefs remain just beyond our grasp. The hypogeum also served as a necropolis, a city of the dead, where the remains of over 7,000 individuals were carefully placed. The bones, often arranged with care, suggest complex funerary practices and a deep reverence for the afterlife. Some skulls found exhibited elongated shapes, sparking debates and fueling legends about ancient races with extraordinary attributes. One chamber, in particular, has ignited both scholarly interest and public imagination, the Oracle Chamber. This small niche possesses acoustic properties so unique that sounds made within it resonate throughout the entire complex. Modern acoustic engineers have studied the chamber and found that it amplifies frequencies around 110 Hz. At this frequency, sound waves can induce a meditative or altered state of consciousness in listeners, affecting brain activity in profound ways. Could it be that the builders intentionally designed the Oracle Chamber to harness the power of sound? Some researchers, like Dr. Linda Ineix of the Old Temple Study Foundation, suggest that the use of acoustic technology in the hypogeum indicates a sophisticated understanding of psychoacoustics, potentially used for rituals aimed at transcending the physical realm. This intersection of architecture, art, and acoustics hints at a culture deeply attuned to the forces of nature and the human psyche. The hypogeum may have been a place where initiates underwent sensory experiences intended to connect them with the spiritual world, blurring the boundaries between life and death, the tangible and the ethereal. Yet, the hypogeum's mysteries have also given rise to numerous legends and speculative theories. Tales persist of a lost race of giants who constructed the underground temple with knowledge and abilities beyond those of ordinary humans. Some stories even recount how early explorers vanished within its depths, never to be seen again. While these accounts are steeped in myth, they reflect the profound impact the hypogeum has on our collective imagination. As the echoes of these legends fade, we are reminded of the significant impact the hypogeum has had on both historical scholarship and modern science. Its discovery not only unveiled an architectural marvel, but also reshaped our understanding of prehistoric societies. Renowned archaeologist and Professor Colin Renfrew once stated, "The hypogeum challenges our perceptions of prehistoric societies, compelling us to acknowledge that these ancient people possessed a complexity of thought and culture that rivals our own." His words remind us that the achievements of the past continue to inform and inspire the present. If you were intrigued by today's journey, then prepare to be amazed by our next adventure. We're venturing deep into the jungles of Sri Lanka to the ancient ruins of Sigiriya, where a groundbreaking discovery awaits. Hidden within this UNESCO World Heritage Site lies the Sakwala Chakraya, a mysterious stone carving believed to be an ancient stargate. Could this be a portal to other worlds? Join us as we unravel the secrets of this enigmatic marvel and delve into legends of extraterrestrial connections and advanced ancient technology. Witness the breathtaking beauty of Sigiriya with its majestic lion rock and captivating frescoes. This ancient city holds clues to a forgotten past, inviting you on an unforgettable adventure, exploring the intersection of science, history, and the unexplained.
So this, if it were true, and it is true, would put the Sphinx back to a much earlier period, which would tie in with Schwaller's work and John Anthony West's subsequent work, that there were indications that dynastic Egypt as we know it, going back to about 3000 BC, was really a legacy of what I call now an earlier cycle of civilization.
Robert M. Schoch, a geologist with a PhD from Yale University, came up with a fascinating idea in the 1990s about the age of the Great Sphinx of Giza. He noticed something interesting about the erosion patterns on the Sphinx and the surrounding area. Unlike the typical wind and sand erosion you'd expect in Egypt's deserts, these patterns looked more like they were caused by water. This was a big deal because it suggested that the Sphinx might be much older than we thought. Now, Graham Hancock, a well-known British author who loves digging into ancient mysteries, found Schoch's theory really interesting and started supporting it.
Since the early 1990s, question marks have been raised over the age of the Great Sphinx of Giza in Egypt. Egyptologists think it's about 4,500 years old, although there's not a shred of inscription evidence to support this date. Independent researcher John Anthony West and Robert Schoch, professor of geology at Boston University, have made a case that the Sphinx must be much older than that.
Hancock is known for questioning the usual stories we hear about historical and archaeological sites. Schoch's theory caught his eye because it suggested that the Sphinx was around during a time when Egypt had a lot of rain, which was way back around 8,000 to 10,000 BCE. This idea of heavy rainfall leading to the erosion we see on the Sphinx today is really cool, but also quite controversial. You see, traditionally, archaeologists have dated the Sphinx to around 2500 BCE, during Pharaoh Khafre's time. They base this on where the Sphinx is located in the Giza pyramid complex and how it looks compared to other stuff from that period. But if Schoch is right and the Sphinx was actually built when it was much wetter in Egypt, then it could be thousands of years older than we thought, maybe even dating back to the Neolithic era. That's a pretty big shakeup in how we think about ancient Egyptian history.
To put it bluntly, the Sphinx did not originate with Khafre in the 4th dynasty, and really the beginning of my serious work and career looking at ancient civilizations.
Instead of the typical wear and tear you'd expect from wind and sand in a desert, the Sphinx had features like deep cracks, wavy lines on its limestone walls, and smooth, rounded edges. These are the kinds of things you usually see with water erosion, not wind or sand. Now, the Sphinx is made out of limestone, which is pretty easy for water to wear down. And what's interesting is that this limestone is made up of different layers, some harder than others. Schoch saw that the water erosion affected these layers in a way that you wouldn't really see if it was just wind and sand doing the damage. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. Schoch looked at the climate history of the Sahara Desert and the Giza area and found out that way back between 10,000 and 5,000 BCE, this place wasn't the dry desert we know today. It was actually pretty wet, thanks to something called the Neolithic subpluvial phase.
We know there were hyper-arid Sahara conditions on the Giza Plateau for the last 5,000 or so years. And this ties in with the origins of civilization, according to the standard story, which is that civilization began between 4,000 and 3,000 BCE.
This was a time when there was a lot more rain. So Schoch thinks that this rainy period might have caused the kind of water erosion we see on the Sphinx. suggesting it's much older than we thought, maybe even dating back to these wetter times. This goes against the usual dating of the Sphinx to around 2500 BCE during Pharaoh Khafre's reign, based on its style and where it's located in the Giza pyramid complex. Schoch's idea definitely shakes things up in terms of how we think about the Sphinx's age. So Robert Schoch didn't just look at the Sphinx in isolation when he was thinking about this whole water erosion idea. He actually compared the wear and tear on the Sphinx with other ancient limestone sites that had been exposed to a lot of rain. This was his way of checking if what he saw on the Sphinx matched up with known patterns of water erosion elsewhere. It's like looking at different worn-out jeans to figure out if they got ripped from climbing trees or just from washing them a lot. He found sites with a clear historical background where they knew for sure that rain had done its thing over the years. When he looked at these places, he noticed that the erosion patterns were quite similar to what he was seeing on the Sphinx. This kind of bolstered his argument that the erosion on the Sphinx could really be from water, not just wind or sand.
You look at the evidence, and that's really where I was coming from. But my point is that even in the late 1980s, early 1990s, when I first got involved with this, if I looked at it critically, the evidence was not that definitive for the age of the Sphinx.
Schoch's approach was pretty comprehensive. He wasn't just a geologist looking at rocks. He was also considering the weather patterns from thousands of years ago and what archaeologists were saying about these ancient sites. It's like he was piecing together a big jigsaw puzzle from different fields of study. But of course, there are always different sides to a story. Some critics pointed out that the erosion could be due to other natural processes unique to the Giza area, like fluctuations in groundwater, or the way certain chemicals in the air might wear down the rock. And then there's the whole thing about what archaeologists have found around the Sphinx, like artifacts and writings that suggest it was built around 2500 BCE, during Pharaoh Khafre's time. This kind of goes against Schoch's idea that the Sphinx is way older because of the water erosion. So it's a bit of a puzzle with some pieces still missing. Graham Hancock has this really intriguing idea about an ancient civilization that he thinks existed way before the ones we usually learn about in history books, like the Egyptians, Sumerians, and the Indus Valley folks. He reckons this civilization was around many millennia earlier, and that it might have been wiped out by a huge comet impact around 10,000 BCE. Imagine that a whole advanced society just gone in the blink of an eye, leaving only bits and pieces behind. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Hancock thinks this civilization wasn't just hanging out in one spot, it was all over the place, having a global influence. He suggests that after whatever disaster hit them, the survivors might have traveled far and wide, sharing their knowledge and helping kickstart other ancient cultures. Hancock dives into myths and oral traditions from all over the world too. He's not just dismissing these stories as old wives' tales, but considering them as potential historical records. For example, he's really interested in the flood myths that pop up in different cultures. He thinks these might be a collective memory of a real event that had a huge impact on this lost civilization.
The best explanation is that floods of icy meltwater released by the heat and kinetic energy of the impacts flowed off the North American ice cap and into the Atlantic Ocean, where they interrupted the Gulf Stream, a key element of the central heating system of our planet, hence the sudden and dramatic cooling.
Now, Hancock is big on astronomy. He points to how some ancient structures, like the Giza pyramids and the Sphinx, line up with certain stars and constellations. He thinks this isn't just a coincidence, but a sign of advanced astronomical knowledge. He's also into the idea that these ancient folks understood the precession of the equinoxes. That's a fancy term for a slow shift in Earth's rotation over a 26,000-year cycle. If he's right, it means they were way ahead of their time in understanding the cosmos. Graham Hancock has this captivating theory about ancient civilizations and their architectural wonders. He's really into how these old structures, like the pyramids in Egypt, Stonehenge, and those incredible megalithic sites in South America, show off some serious engineering and architectural skills. Hancock reckons that to build these things with such precision and detail, those ancient folks must have had some advanced knowledge and technology that we don't usually give them credit for. Take, for instance, the way the stones are cut at Pumapunku in Bolivia. Hancock points out that the cuts are so precise, it's as if they had access to some really advanced tools. And when it comes to building massive structures, he's all about the techniques they must have used. He's amazed at how accurately these huge stones were fitted together, often without any mortar. and wonders how on earth they moved and positioned stones that weigh several tons. This isn't just your everyday heavy lifting. We're talking about some serious know-how in engineering and possibly some clever uses of leverage and pulley systems. Now he doesn't stop there. He's also fascinated by the mathematical and geometrical knowledge that these structures reveal. He talks about the use of the golden ratio, pi, and precise angular measurements, which shows a sophisticated understanding of math and geometry. Like, take the Great Pyramid of Khufu. Its alignment, the way its base is perfectly level, and the precise angles of its sides. Hancock sees this as evidence of a much more advanced understanding of geometry and engineering than we might think. Then there are the monumental buildings in Mesoamerica, such as the Pyramid of the Sun at Teotihuacan and the Mayan pyramids. Hancock highlights their architectural sophistication, urban planning, and the use of large stone blocks. All of this, to him, points to a level of technological proficiency and knowledge that goes way beyond what we've traditionally thought was possible for these ancient cultures. In a nutshell, Hancock is looking at these ancient structures and saying, hey, there's more to the story here. He's suggesting that these civilizations had a depth of knowledge and skill in construction, engineering, and mathematics that challenges our conventional understanding of ancient history.
It wasn't something the Maya made up. The Olmecs used that same symbolism. So the Mayan calendar is actually an Olmec calendar. And if we then consider the possibility that the Olmecs may just be the latest, the earliest surviving manifestation of that calendar, it could go back.
Then there's Teotihuacan in Mexico. Hancock looks at the layout of this ancient city and sees a kind of mirror image of our solar system's planetary orbits. To him, this suggests that the people who built Teotihuacan had a pretty detailed knowledge of astronomy and space. Stonehenge in England is another example. Hancock thinks it was used as an astronomical observatory because of how it aligns with the solstices. He sees this as further evidence that ancient people understood celestial movements really well. And let's not forget about the Pyramid of Kukulkan at Chichen Itza. During the equinoxes, this pyramid casts a shadow that looks like a serpent. Hancock sees this as a sophisticated way of tracking the sun's path, again showing an advanced understanding of astronomy. Hancock also dives into the idea of precession, which is this slow wobble in Earth's rotation that takes about 26,000 years to go full circle. He looks at how the Giza pyramids align with Orion's belt, and how the Sphinx lines up with the Leo constellation during what's known as the Age of Leo, around 10,500 BCE. He thinks these alignments aren't random but deliberate, showing that the people back then understood this complex astronomical phenomenon. So, in a nutshell, Hancock is really into the idea that ancient structures around the world weren't just built for the heck of it. He believes they were deliberately aligned with stars, constellations, and celestial events, showing that ancient civilizations had a much deeper understanding of astronomy than we usually give them credit for.
Here we are at the Assyrian, possibly one of the most impressive sites in Egypt, possibly the world. This is officially dated to the time of Seti I, which would have been completely roofed over, thousands of tons of stone in this whole construction, and it really is something to behold.
Hidden deep in the desert sands of Abydos, approximately 350 miles south of the Great Pyramid of Giza, stands the Osirion, a monumental structure shrouded in mystery. Its origins, purpose, and design have baffled archaeologists and researchers for decades. Unlike the well-known temples of ancient Egypt, the Osirion defies traditional pharaonic architectural norms, leading some to believe it could be the product of a much older, technologically advanced civilization. Could this ancient structure hold the key to a forgotten chapter of human history? The first puzzle presented by the Osirion lies in its striking architectural divergence from typical Egyptian temples. While most temples of the pharaonic era adhere to a linear rectangular layout, the Osirion's design breaks the mold with its unique L-shaped configuration. This anomaly alone raises critical questions about the intentions behind its construction. Was it built for a different purpose than Egypt's standard religious edifices? Or does it reflect the architectural style of an unknown, perhaps much older culture. Adding to the mystery is the Osirians' relationship with the nearby temple of Seti Prayus, built during the 19th dynasty. Archaeological evidence suggests that the Osirian predates the temple of Seti Ras by centuries, if not millennia, implying that the site held significant importance long before the reign of Seti. This ancient structure was already in place when Seti chose to build his temple beside it, as though honoring an ancient relic from a bygone era. What made the Osirion so significant, and why did it attract the attention of the Egyptian kings? The sheer scale of the Osirian is awe-inspiring. The core of the structure is composed of massive rose granite blocks, some of which weigh an astonishing 100 tons. These immense stones were quarried from Aswan, located over 200 miles to the south, a logistical challenge that seems insurmountable given the tools and technology traditionally attributed to the Egyptians of the time. Moving these massive blocks across hundreds of miles of desert, and then precisely positioning them in a desert location far from the Nile, is a feat that defies explanation. Without evidence of advanced machinery, how were these massive stones transported and assembled with such precision? The Osirians' architecture, featuring a sophisticated double-layered roofing system and interlocking wedges, suggests a level of engineering knowledge far beyond what ancient Egypt is known to have possessed. The use of granite, a hard and unforgiving material, only adds to the mystery. Working with granite requires advanced tools and knowledge, skills that, according to historical records, the Egyptians had not yet developed during the early dynastic periods. Another striking feature of the Osirian is its complete lack of Egyptian hieroglyphs or artwork. In contrast to nearly every other Egyptian temple or monument, which are richly decorated with carvings, inscriptions, and illustrations, the Osirian is eerily bare. Throughout Egypt's history, temples were frequently renovated, with each generation adding new inscriptions and artwork. Even more unusual is the Osirian's subterranean layout, which is highly uncharacteristic of Egyptian temple architecture. The entire structure lies 15 feet below ground level, leading some researchers to propose that the temple could be far older than its surrounding counterparts. The idea that it predates the buildup of sand and soil that has accumulated over millennia suggests a timeline stretching back to an era before the sands of Egypt's desert even existed in their current form. Water erosion patterns found on the limestone enclosure surrounding the Osirian add yet another layer to the mystery. Some researchers argue that these erosion marks could only have been caused by a much wetter climate, possibly dating the structure back to the end of the last ice age, when the region experienced more rainfall. If true, this would place the Osirians' construction over 10,000 years ago, far earlier than the dynastic Egyptian civilization. Perhaps the most intriguing feature of the Osirian is the presence of water within the structure itself. Modern seismic technology has revealed that the visible portion of the Osirian is only the uppermost part of a much larger complex, which extends at least 50 feet below the current floor level. Beneath the surface, seismic tests have indicated the presence of hollow chambers, which have yet to be explored due to the water that continually fills the site. Despite multiple attempts, archaeologists have been unable to drain the water, which seems to replenish at an alarming rate. The source of this water remains unknown, and its continuous flow presents a baffling enigma. Some researchers suggest that the Osirian's complex hydraulic system, which includes channels, basins, and possibly sluices, was designed to control and manipulate water flow within the structure. The precision of these features points to an advanced understanding of hydraulic engineering, something not typically associated with ancient Egyptian technology. While the Egyptians were known for their use of irrigation canals and basins for agriculture, the Osirians' water management techniques are far more sophisticated. The mysteries of the Osirian continue to deepen as researchers attempt to unlock its secrets. The constant replenishment of water within the structure defies explanation. James Westerman, a renowned archaeologist and historian, has spent decades studying the Osirian. his efforts to pump out the water from the structure have been met with frustration. Even with a pump capable of removing 500 gallons of water per minute, the water level continues to rise, seemingly replenishing itself faster than it can be removed. Westerman's words capture the perplexity of the situation. Water is emerging from inside the structure. This shouldn't be happening, especially in the desert. Something strange is going on here. In 2023, Westerman's team employed advanced technology to analyze the water within the Osirian, measuring its pressure, temperature, conductivity, and chemical composition. The results were astounding. The water in the Osirian was found to have a unique chemical profile, different from the surrounding wells and aquifers in the area. Westerman's research suggested that the water was being forced up through the structure, almost as though it were being propelled by some unknown force. The water's chemical composition and isotopic profile indicated that it did not originate from the nearby Nile River or local aquifers. Where, then, is this water coming from? The Osirian's water behaves more like that of a geyser, but without the typical signs of volcanic activity. Is there an underground spring or reservoir beneath the structure, or could the water be flowing from a deeper, as yet undiscovered source? One of the most intriguing aspects of the water is its unique properties. Westerman conducted hydrologic studies and found that the water within the Osirian was drinkable after filtration. Over time, Westerman began drinking the water regularly, and he noticed something extraordinary. His eyesight began to improve. A lifelong sufferer of nearsightedness, Westerman eventually no longer needed glasses, a fact that was confirmed by an eye test. Could the water from the Osirian possess healing properties? Westerman believes so and continues to drink the water, attributing his improved vision to its mysterious qualities. Yet another anomaly is the temperature of the water. The water outside the Osirian measures a consistent 16.9 degrees Celsius, but the water inside the structure is significantly warmer, measuring 23.8 degrees Celsius. This temperature difference defies the second law of thermodynamics, which states that heat cannot spontaneously transfer from a cooler to a warmer body. Something within the Osirian is heating the water, but no one knows what it is or how it is happening. As researchers continue to study the Osirian, its true scale and purpose remain elusive. What is visible today may only be the tip of the iceberg. The structure extends far beneath the surface, with hidden chambers still unexplored due to the constant flow of water. Could these underground chambers hold more secrets about the origins of the Osirian and its builders? As we probe deeper into the Osirian's mysteries, we are left with more questions than answers. One thing is certain: this ancient structure is far older and more complex than we ever imagined, and it may hold the key to understanding a lost chapter of human history. If you were captivated by today's video, then you're absolutely going to love our next adventure. We're diving even deeper into the mysteries of ancient Egypt, with Egyptologists discovered an ancient tunnel revealing tombs and something you'd never expect. Beneath Giza's sands, a groundbreaking discovery rewrites ancient Egyptian history. Egyptologists unearthed a water-filled tunnel, the Osiris Shaft, predating the pyramids. What secrets does this ancient passage hold? What unexpected wonders lie within?
There's something called the Osiris Shaft, which is located directly under the causeway between the Sphinx and the second pyramid. It goes about 100 feet underground. It's carved out of the limestone bedrock. It's the creepiest place I've ever been in my life. It's disturbing. So it's 3 different shafts, and you go down, and here's where it gets, this is the crazy part. When you get to the 3rd level, which is completely dark and freaky, there was a side tunnel. Zahi Hawass himself, there was a documentary, went down there, and he's standing in front of this tunnel that went sideways, and he says, it's yet to be explored, and I don't know what's down there, but Joe, they've since sealed it up. It's like cinder blocks, they sealed it up.
What?
Yes! There are things that have gone underground in Egypt that, for whatever reason, Joe, is just off limits to the public.